I got really lucky with mine though.
Man,
Well, Lucina's gonna grab that because she's the only one who signed up for this, for that crazy, kooky secret police thing. Okay, guys, do we really want to go and, find these giants? I mean, we could teleport out of here with all the loot and then deal with it.
Wait, you guys heard it speak too?
Wait, is this a... Do you normally hear birds talking to you like this?
No, but I was just checking.
Okay. I was about to say that.
Oh, the bird and not my weapon. Okay, sorry.
I'm surrounded by crazy people. No. Yeah, Roz, it's not Misha this time?
Misha doesn't talk to me. Are you insane?
I was gonna be so mad.
I get a nice, healthy pat on the head.
I glare at them.
So do we bail? Or do we just finish our journey, maybe, make a pit stop at the nearest bank? Yeah.
to Waterdeep. What the hell?
So wait,
let me
where
get
were
this
we
straight.
headed?
Far
Heading
Where were we
north.
headed
super north.
directly?
Can we see
Yeah,
a
is there any
map?
chance we could talk Blogathus into making a pit stop at Waterdeep, guys?
I think that'd be better than, hey, thanks for helping us kill a dragon. Teleports to the other side of the freaking continent.
Yeah.
A bird rap tap tapping on your chamber door. Sorry, I'm done with my poeticness. As funny as that, he just punched me in the face. Go ahead.
Abby, roll for damage.
Can we see a map? Can I see the map?
Like the world map? Yeah, that'd probably be a little helpful. Just a little bit.
We're heading northeast. Waterdeep is southwest. Like west southwest.
Yeah, I just want to... Yeah, I can
Mhm.
see. Oh God, it'll take us. Oh God, it'll take us forever to get to. I'm assuming the ice mountains or the teeth of the world, or spine of the world. And if it's been a couple days and we're only here, oh God.
I say we just see if he could take us to Waterdeep first, see what they need, and then we can make our way north, meet with his army.
Okay.
That's good because currently we have a 0% success rate with spell scrolls. So,
Yeah. Oh God,
Okay.
that's right.
like,
So
you wouldn't be upset with us abandoning your
Abandoning shit.
cause for the time. That sounds like road traveling, which I'm on board with. Therefore, I agree.
Of course.
So, Blogathus, how long will you and your army be to the north? Like, how much time do we have to meet you? Okay, so, I mean, I say we take him up on his offer to teleport us to Waterdeep. It seems like we're urgently needed, and if we have plenty of time to make our way north afterwards, then
And we can convert to platinum a lot of stuff. Oh. So, oh, that'd be bad. Oh, so they're just hearing us responding to the ghost.
Yeah.
The ghost of Richard Past.
Testing. Okay, it's better now. I don't. I think I updated here and some settings got default.
Yeah, OBS
All right.
updates itself all the time and pisses
In the
everyone
event
off.
that you're watching this VOD, everyone has a scroll that goes to Waterdeep, and that's what's happening right now.
Okay, so yeah, if we just teleport there with all the money, we can convert to platinum and then divvy it up better.
I'm really glad I didn't minimize OBS before I noticed that.
Yeah.
well, I think we also need to work out how we're going to get as much of this treasure as we can
Yes,
of
that
this
is the
castle.
other thing.
Bags.
So
do you
I
have a
did.
ghost horse?
Here's the thing: if you guys go to Waterdeep, you guys are welcome to color up all your coins as much as you want. In the meantime, this is what you're dealing with. How much can you guys get in your pockets to get to Waterdeep with?
How much can your horses carry?
What?
They have ghost horses.
Oh wait, I have a war horse. Holy
Exactly.
shit. All right, well, first of all, I'm going to start summoning my war horse here. That's happening.
And this is a castle with a storage room. I'm pretty sure that there's some bags in there we could use. If I were to take a wild guess. Burlap sacks. Built for giants.
There wasn't any like wild game that we encountered on this airship, was there? Like, could we just drop off a deer in the middle of Waterdeep and start shoveling shit through the tapestry?
What?
I'm
What?
still not so sure you
because-
know how that works, but
Because loading a spiritual warhorse with over 500,000 coins is that much more realistic.
Hey.
Yeah, it is.
It's a ethereal warhorse. It's not a real warhorse.
500,000 coins.
It's also Vertices, and he can carry like 1 billion stuff. So
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's fine.
I'm just
605,000 and
540-pound carrying capacity for the warhorse, by the way.
I don't think that's gonna do it.
Actually, I think it might. For at least some of it. Like the stuff that's more important. Because the copper, yeah, that's nice. But it's copper.
I was about to say you could prioritize here a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking down here. Which does bring me to the sad conclusion. I'm losing 20 pounds by dropping 10 scimitars.
So
Oh,
sad.
no.
So, anyways, yeah. So I'll need to clear up my own inventory, but my warhorse can carry 540 pounds.
I want to see something.
I was about to shut you down because I thought the teleport can only transport up to 6 creatures, but it turns out you can transport up to 8. So yes, you could
I
theoretically
can-
load up
I
your
can
warhorse.
We could always leave Lucina if we had to.
I can definitely carry the 800 platinum, but other than that, it's starting to get to a point where I don't think I could carry the rest.
I feel like Giovanni could carry that.
No.
800
And
platinum.
this is Jake speaking here.
Oh,
This is Jake speaking here. I could carry the 800 platinum once we get to the thousands of gold and everything. That's where it gets iffy.
I mean, so realistically, since we're not playing with encumbrance rules,
Okay, well, let's be reasonable for a minute. That's all. You don't have to sit down here and figure out exactly how much each person's carrying and everything. I'm just like, think about what your carrying capacity as a group is. The spiritual warhorse is a good idea. How much can you grab here, and still, and then reasonably unload when you get to Waterdeep.
You know what? I should probably just go to the.
wait, Talia, are you able to transform into any creature that may have a bit more sturdiness or strength to it to help us carry some of this treasure?
are you saying I'm not strong, Vertis?
Saying you're plenty strong,
But
but
bears are
if you look-
stronger.
if you look at my warhorse, these animals are stronger than even I. Animals have just a natural strength that we just
I
can't
slowly
touch.
walk over to Vaughn and just put my hand over his mouth.
There is no correct answer to the question of are you calling me fat? Okay,
I'm just saying I respect nature and animals and realize that they have capabilities we do not. As a druid, I could only imagine that you would agree.
I love that the paladin is lecturing the druid on this strength. So, as you might understand, animals can be stronger than humans.
You may not know this. It's that 20 charisma coming in handy there.
So, what you're saying, Vertus, is we should just put your horse in armor and give it a greatsword.
Richard, can I do that?
no.
It
Okay,
worked
no.
entangled. I don't see the problem.
Hey, he said animals are stronger than people.
Do the wyverns have any like backpacks or satchels or something on them?
Like they have saddles and they have like a couple saddle bags, but like
That could work.
Would that fit on Misha?
Oh,
yeah, you could throw some saddle bags at Misha so Misha can carry some stuff too if you want.
Okay, Misha gets all the sapphires.
I thought we established there aren't any sapphires.
You said there's
There are.
200 blue sapphires, 300 gold
Oh,
pieces.
I suppose that's true.
wait, 200? I thought there were 21.
21. There
Oh,
are
okay.
21 sapphires worth 300 gold each.
I heard 200 were 300, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot the 60 grand in sapphires. That's how that went.
I think it's only 6 grand.
Oh,
I put those on Misha, and then I turn into a warhorse.
Woohoo!
Oh god, no, we have another 1,000 carrying capacity combined, I believe.
In all fairness, out of character, my warhorse actually is stronger than me. It's got a strength of 18. That's
Alright.
kind of sad. Okay. So we
Okay,
have-
we're min maxing here. We're talking Spatial Warhorse, Talia's Warhorse,
That's
and so that adds 900 pounds of carrying capacity.
10,080.
10,000 pounds.
What?
I mean, 1,080. Sorry.
No,
Carries a
10,000's good. I
Excuse
dare
me.
you.
Zero.
All
I
right.
wish. 1,080 though. Yeah. between two
How
war
does that
horses.
get you most of the way to getting everything you want here?
How much do coins weigh?
It's for 50 coins. They weigh about a third an ounce, or not a third an ounce.
Hang on.
Yeah, no, I was looking at it. It's 50 coin. Standard coins weigh about a third an ounce, so 50 coins weighs a pound.
Here's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm going to 158.72.
I need to get the calculator out.
So 10 coins is 0.2 pounds. So therefore it is 50 coins per pound.
Okay.
Okay? So with that reasoning, you could
The
you could take an additional pretty much 50,000 coins.
By the way,
Is
guys.
that most of what you want to do?
By the way, guys, the copper itself, all 5K or 500K, 10,000 pounds.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about the copper. So yeah, I can take.
Okay.
So wait, 540 for the warhorse times 50 coins per pound. So I can take 27,000 coins.
Why don't we just
Plus
take
your
the
own equipment.
gold,
Don't mind.
take the silver,
Yeah.
and forget the forget the copper? Like, the copper at the end of the day is only 5,000 gold.
Okay.
Yeah, so copper, just ignore that. Silver, we could take some of that because the 100,000 that comes out to about 2,000 pounds.
I'm not gonna sit here and like we've already taken more time on this than I wanted to. If I am perfectly okay with taking everything except for the copper coins as reasonable math for how you're getting out. of
Okay,
here.
I think that's
Um,
reasonable.
that's reasonable.
Is that good with everyone? Can we agree that's okay? That's what we're doing then. Okay,
Nays
so
in agreement.
so block this, like, he gathers you all up and he's like, oh, you turn into a horse and you've added another horse, interesting. And like he's like, okay, well, he casts, he starts doing his incantation and stuff, and you see the scroll start to glow with energy, and then all of a sudden you sort of almost like you feel like you've been like everything kind of goes dark for a second. You kind of feel like your legs like stretch out under you, and you feel like you're being pulled like a rubber band through a hole. Everything goes dark for a moment, and then all of a sudden things come back to normal, and you are in like a dusty room. Um, it's a dusty, dark room. Like it kind of looks like a back room. You see some like religious icons. You figure you might be in the temple of some sort. But yeah, on the ground is inscribed some runes. Those among you more magically inclined would recognize it as a teleportation circle. This is a set point that the scroll was supposed to bring you.
About how big is this room, would you say?
Big enough for a couple war horses and half a dozen.
That's what I was wondering.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, it's kind of you guys are kind of cramped in here. Our horse friends are a little bit, might be feeling a little bit claustrophobic at this point.
I walk out the door.
As you step out, like you step into the main room of what is clearly a temple. And like some of the clerics who are like they're kind of used to people coming in through the teleportation circle every once in a while. So like the first person steps out and they kind of take it in stride, like, oh, hello, welcome, and then like a couple more people stream out. Then the guard drake streams out. They seem a little bit more concerned, and then two war horses stream out, and they seem They seem really concerned. Like, they're like looking at you guys like you're stepping out of a clown car type thing. But uh, they kind of like just shake their heads and like, okay, yeah, sure.
Do not be afraid.
We come in
Uh,
peace.
One of the older clerics, he says, you folks looking, and he kind of eyes you like suspiciously, looking at the looking at Misha and the two horses that are standing beside you guys. The A young monk, believes the name of Leosin, told me you guys would be coming through. He says that you should make your way towards the palace as soon as possible.
Okay.
Well,
So-
absolutely,
okay.
we'll head there now.
Yes, but first we head to the bank.
Well, we
Okay.
don't tell him that.
Oh wait, did we get full rests because we
Oh,
traveled?
it's been 3
Oh,
days.
It's been 3 days. We're full
Okay.
health, full
Am I
everything,
still-
full everything.
crippled by 10 hit points, or is that?
No, that went away as soon as you took your first long rest. By the way.
And if anyone got enough XP to level up, you leveled up. So
I'm not there yet. I'm about 2,000 short.
Just I'm going to award you guys 5,000 experience points. By the way, just
Just
Oh,
you don't.
shit.
It's not going to be immediate. You don't need this for an immediate combat encounter, so don't worry about it. But like I said, we got some role playing to do today. So yeah,
okay.
you guys
I'll add that at the
step
end.
out of the temple and like you're in Waterdeep. You're kind of near the nearest. I'm sorry, you're not too far from the palace. It's like what we'd call like 10-15 blocks away. There are some financial institutions along the way if you'd like to go color up. So would you like to do that?
I think that's a good idea.
All right, yeah, you guys go. Some of the bank guards kind of like ready their spears and stuff as you stroll in with two horses.
And a
But
great
like
news.
as soon as like you open the saddlebags and show them like, oh, it's full of coins and stuff, a bunch of the bank officials go, no, we got this, and they start treating you like honored guests, and like, oh, can we bring you some tea and chocolate, and please sit down. Would you like to invest with us? We have some very competitive money market accounts that you could, and so on and so forth. At this point, you guys are welcome to color up.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm kind of interested in investing in the future of Waterdeep, Richard.
Shit.
Please tell me more about
I've made a
Interest
huge
rates look
mistake.
like?
It's-
So 10 gold is 1 platinum, right?
yeah.
Yeah. 10 to 1, and for silver, that's 100 to 1.
So yeah, I'm gonna convert all my gold to platinum.
That's probably wise, seeing so you guys kind of have a lot of it at this point.
Yeah, we do. So,
I just cut my weight down by 103 pounds.
Holy shit, so did I. Oh my god, 120 pounds almost, because I was carrying nothing but gold the whole adventure. I had like 7k gold.
oh god. Yeah, I was carrying over about 15,000 gold. And now I'm carrying 1 gold.
Alright, so do we just want to convert all of this silver and gold to plat and then divvy up the platinum?
Yeah, I'm
That would
doing
probably
that
make
right
sense.
now.
Maybe leave 100 gold. So now I'd say we just get change as we go.
Whoever came up with the freaking Electrum system needs to be fired. Like, this is so annoying.
It's for flavor. Come on.
Oh yeah, because that's in between silver and gold, right?
Yeah.
But it's not on a base of 10, it's on a base of 20. Everything else is a base of 10, except for Electrum. Electrum's a base of 20.
Because
is there-
Electrum's dumb, and it's dumb.
Is there just an easy way to convert from silver to gold?
From silver to gold?
Yeah.
Yeah,
10
silver
10 to
is
1. What do you mean?
10 to 1.
Yeah, looking at the thing.
Oh, okay, with gold. Oh, for some reason I thought Electrum was somewhere in the middle there.
It is. But that's how irrelevant it is.
Oh,
It's
wow.
5 silver to 1 electrum,
What the
or
hell?
2 electrum to 1 gold.
Oh, wow. Okay,
It's
yeah.
freaking retarded.
Yeah, Electrum's pretty dumb.
10 silver to 1 gold.
All right, so in that case, let me see.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna convert. I'm gonna make an Electrum just because.
Technically speaking, I think if we're being totally reasonable, it should be one electrum is worth 6 silver because it's half. Well, actually, no, 5.5 silver because it is half a gold coin and half a silver coin technically. But
Whoa, wait a second. Hold on. So we can buy electrum for half.
No.
Oh, wait. Never mind. I don't care anymore.
So anyways, we
Oh,
have
you're in-
it was a
15,000
dumb joke.
gold.
Let's not pay any more attention to the electrum than we have to.
Okay,
We have
so
15
we didn't bring the copper, right?
Right.
No.
So if we convert the silver to gold, we have 15,000 gold. If we convert the gold to plat, we have 1,500 extra plat. So we have 2,300 platinum total.
If you guys find a gem dealer, you can convert that all into gems, and then you're real lightweight. Please don't make me do that.
Wait, we have 100,000 silver, so we would get 1,000 gold.
10.
Oh, wait,
It's
10,000.
10 to 1, right? So yeah, it'd be 10,000.
Yep.
Yep. So we have
Also known
2,300
as 1,000
platinum.
platinum.
Right. So we have 2,300 platinum total that we can divvy up between everybody. So there's 5 of us.
It's 10 gold to 1 plat, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's 5 of us. So
That'd be
each person
460.
yeah, each person will get 460 platinum
What'd you get? 200 or 2,300 platinum?
total. Yeah, because we had 800 plat from the horde and then 1,500 when we convert the gold and silver.
Okay. And how much did we each get?
460 platinum.
And yes, that is divided 5 ways. Well, I don't think we ever need to worry about money again.
So are we good? Like,
I want to go to John's club.
I'm good, yes.
Why don't we do that after?
Unless John's club has some magical armor, I'm good.
There
I
actually
mean,
wasn't
it's a roll on the
John's club
table
in
to figure out what
Waterdeep.
John's club has, but
No, there wasn't one in Waterdeep. That was the one spot that didn't have a John's.
that's
Yeah.
true. Mostly because
was
I at this point I
crazy.
realized I front loaded you guys with a lot of fucking magic items. But no, you're gonna be well. You guys are gonna get some more soon. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So
Let's invest
yeah,
in John's club here.
what do team?
Well, now that we don't have to have 2 war horses following us into the palace, why don't we go to the palace?
Speaking of which, what Talia, are you done being a war horse? Are you going back to person form? Or are you just chilling?
I become a person and then I just lay on the ground
Why do you lay on the ground?
because I miss the ground.
Oh, okay. You make a nice bank dirt angel on the floor in the middle of the bank.
And
And because of all the money, they just are like, that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but I don't care. We
Final
just gotta-
call, add 460 platinum to your sheet because I'm deleting record of it.
Okay, that's good. I didn't. That already took so much longer than I wanted it to. Yeah. Are you guys heading towards the palace now? What are you doing?
Can I take 1 second to do a little bit of housekeeping?
Sure.
Real quick. Longsword, Virtus, you have that, right?
Mhm.
The longsword +1. Lucina, you have the longbow +1.
Yep.
Roz, you have the leather armor +1.
Yes.
Okay, and we still have the braces of defense and the potion of gaseous form, and 21 blue sapphires. So I'll just
I have
get
the
those
potion,
noted.
so
Misha has
Oh,
the
you have the
sapphires.
potion?
yeah.
You have the gaseous form.
Yeah, no one wanted it, so I just pocketed it.
All right, you got it. As long as it's recorded, I'm good. All right, thanks, Richard.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay, we good?
I think we're good. Let's go to the palace.
All right, yeah, you guys start making your way towards the palace. It's laden with your new pockets lined with platinum now instead of with everything else. And yeah, you start making your way towards the palace. You're a few blocks away. Let's see here. Oh yes, sorry, I almost forgot this part. As you're kind of making your way towards the palace, like something weird happened. Like a sudden shift in wind brings with it a strange sense of unease. The feeling is akin to a drop in air pressure before the approach of a deadly storm. Or faint tremors felt from a landslide or an earthquake far away. You're not the only ones who've noticed. The city around you kind of goes unnaturally quiet. No dogs bark, no birds squawk, even street vendors have gone silent. And like it's just like that for just an instant, like half a second, and all of a sudden it all comes back to life. Like it was weird, and everyone noticed it was weird, but life goes back to normal pretty quickly.
Would I know like anything that could cause that? Like,
Um,
or are we all just clueless about it?
Make just a straight up intelligence check.
Giovanni calls
Yeah.
dragon.
Let's see. Can we notice that weird thing?
Lucina, like
Let me change this.
something like there's something unnatural about it. You know that. You get an idea that it's probably magical of some sort, but for like you've never heard anything like this before. Same for you, Giovanni.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I'm the smartest here, and I think it's a dragon, and I don't tell everyone else that that's not what it is.
Okay. Yeah, so that happens. But yeah, you guys just continuing on to the palace?
Are there any beggars?
Well, actually, not
Oh,
so much.
shit.
Oh Christ!
Not so much in this section of Waterdeep. Like, you notice any sort of vagrants that are around. They kind of get like chased off by guards pretty quick around this. Like, you're pretty close to like this is where the elite hang out. So yeah, there's not really much in the way of homelessness or begging in this section of town.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm just gonna whisper over to Talia. So with that new platinum we have, I'm sure we could find someone to make Misha armor.
Yes.
Or make you armor.
Well, that's what my platinum's for, but her platinum.
Well, I'm just saying, she might need some armor too.
What?
Oh, her armor. I thought you were talking to me. Yeah. I mean, she could definitely use armor as well.
Well, we could also just get her like a silvered quarterstaff.
No.
Okay.
I don't know how that would work.
I don't know either, but it sounded stupid, and that's why I said it.
guess.
You guys are discussing your very stupid idea for a quarterstaff as you round the corner, still moving towards the palace a little bit. Lucina, make a perception check.
That feeling when God tells you your ideas are stupid.
I can't work with metal.
Oh, that's
know.
true.
That's why I said it. It'd be a
Alright.
stupid idea.
I thought it was stupid because dipping wood in silver would not work well. Wood in silver.
Lucina, as you round the corner, you catch something out of the corner of your peripheral vision that causes you to do a double take. A face that you recognize, one that you knew all too well in a previous life. The face you see is unmistakably the face of Mei Murasaki. As the recognition registers within your own mind, so too do you see it take hold within hers. And she speaks, Evelyn, oh my god, is that really you? You hear the sound
Evelyn?
of relief in her voice. Joy starts to spread across her face. Her eyes start to glass over as if tears are forming within them. For everyone else, the person you see in front of you looks like this.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking Milan.
Wait, that person has metal on their quarterstaff.
You're not wrong.
Oh my god.
Stop ruining the pacing of my encounter. And she continues. She's like, I thought you were dead. I thought I was the only one who got away. As I was making my escape, I heard one of the attackers tell another one that that all the students were accounted for except for one. I was sure that everyone else was already gone. And like she kind of like thinks for a moment and she says, all the students except for one, she repeats to herself quietly before kind of trailing off. And then like suddenly her eyes kind of go big and like as she looks at you, Lucina, like fear takes hold in her brain. She places a hand on her quarterstaff as if to prepare for battle, but does not draw it. She says, and like there's like panic on her face. She's like, tell me you weren't part of that attack. Tell me you didn't betray Master Althan, that you didn't betray all of us. She has like desperation in her voice. Her eyes remain locked on you, and tears begin to stream down her face.
Okay, there's 1.5 billion things going through Lucina's mind at this point. Or is that even her name? Dun dun dun.
No, it's Evelyn. We just knew that. It's.
I mean,
come on.
I mean,
dude.
I mean, you don't know that.
Is it your uncle's name?
What uncle?
Uncle Evelyn.
Just kind of standing there, just eyes just wide, just like kind of smacking her face, like, and this is real, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. No. I heard people shouting that everything was on fire and everyone was dead. I jumped out the window and ran.
Make a persuasion check.
I heard 6 people outside. This is gonna go great. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like kind of like freaking out. Like she's like, I don't know if I can believe you. Wait, hold on. What did that say? I made a technicality for this. Okay, yes. She looks at you and like she's like freaking out. She's like starting to hyperventilate a little bit, but like she's like, no, you wouldn't do that. I trust you. And like she just starts calming down and like taking deep breaths and like she starts looking around. Like she like all of a sudden she's like, oh shit, I was just shouting about this in the street and that's a bad idea. I shouldn't have done that. Like it's taking hold in her that it wasn't like a very good idea. And um she's like she starts like breathing. She's like looking around. She's like just to see if anyone else is like looking at her, like and like and she starts relaxing a little bit. You as she's like doing this, a like you see a half elf sorceress and a tall human fighter, big burly guy, kind of walk over. You know, and you notice they both have these patches like up on like their left chest, and like as you see these patches, you realize that May also has the same patch. Of it is, you can see it in the picture just barely. It is the head of a jackal that's red on the on a shield and crossed swords. It's that fun little thing I threw in Discord a couple days ago.
Ah, that's what you were getting at.
Yes, that's the emblem looks like that. And you notice that these two people also have that emblem on them, and they kind of like walk over and they're like, and like they kind of step up behind her, and she says like they say, everything all right here, Azumi? Are these people bothering you? And like you notice that Azumi is not her name because you know her name.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh no, everything's good. Great even. She says like looking at you, um and she like looks around and she's like, you know, I actually have to run. Me and my friends here have a thing to do. But hey, it's really great to see you. Like, um, let's keep an eye out for each other, and we can catch up for real next time. I'm sure we'll run into each other again. And like,
Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yes.
As you're kind of like stumbling through this, she like kind of like runs up to you and gives you like a hug real quick, and like and then like breaks off, and she pulls her hood over her head and rushes off to join her companions, and they disappear into the crowd.
Yeah, okay. Well,
And now we go back to the board of how much explaining we have to do. Evelyn.
Okay, so achievement unlocked, guys. Most people do this within 5 minutes of starting. Some people take a couple sessions, but yeah, you guys finally untick the box of you know the name of everyone in your own party.
Or do we?
Dun, dun.
Oh, whoops! I misspelled that.
Does Evelyn have a last name? I forget. I can't ever remember at this point.
I do have that. Where I mean, not a real one, but you know, a taken one.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm gonna just throw that in there, just for
You're
simplicity's
married?
sake.
Everyone needs to make
That was a
their
bad
names
joke.
uniform again, by the way.
Yeah.
It's gonna bother me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, so that congratulations, guys. It only took you 65 and a half hours to figure out Evelyn's real name.
We
So
solved
why-
your name puzzle.
So why is your name Lucina?
Gain 1 experience.
I tackle Lucina or Evelyn and put a dagger to her throat.
Wow, okay.
Wow. Try me.
What do I roll?
Yes, let's do
I
this
guess
in
you
front
roll
of
a
a
grapple
palace.
check.
Yeah.
I think you roll athletics against her acrobatics.
Yeah.
Just- Yeah, you don't do that.
Dang.
You don't do that.
I just glare at you. Who are you?
Well.
Nisha?
This seems like a conversation to have not surrounded by people who could probably frickin' kill me should the wrong people find out.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we've had that opportunity for like 65 hours now. So,
I mean, same here. You're not dead.
Don't threaten us.
That's not a threat. That's just straight facts.
I walk
Fine.
into the palace. I'm progressing the story here.
We'll get. We can get on this in a minute, but
Nope, walked into the palace. Talking to royalty, schmoozing up with cool princesses.
You're still a
We're
few
having
blocks.
a moment over here.
You're still a few blocks away, but
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nope, I walk a few blocks and open the palace doors. I don't know.
Giovanni. Oh, I've been traveling with someone who's just been completely lying to us. I'm gonna go talk to a king.
Moving on.
I mean, you're all full of your own random crap. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that has a legitimate name and backstory that doesn't involve slaughtering orphanages, villages, or trees. I don't know.
Trees. Slaughtering
Wow. I
trees.
spent a lot of time on my non-tree based biography.
We figured it out. Kai is part of Team Aqua and has been destroying the forest for years.
That's why he wants all the ocean.
We figured it out, guys. Case closed.
My preferred landscape is actually a swamp. Like
Oh.
liquid trees.
we've gone off the rails. Okay.
Let's recenter a bit.
Okay. Is this okay? So this is a strong reaction. How
Yeah. you
how
just
is
sound like
Evelyn
a-
smoothing this over? In all seriousness.
Yeah. Look. We've all got things from the past that might be trying to kill us for reasons unknown.
But you know them. Stop lying to us.
I know her. That's it.
What's trying to kill you then?
I don't know, mercenaries, orcs, rival schools, some guy in a power trip. I don't know.
Speak clearly.
I don't know how much clearer I can speak. I actively don't know who. I didn't get anything. All I know is I was in my room, middle of the night, at the school, and everything was on fire. Sounds of battle, and hearing that most people were dead. Dozens of footsteps running up and down the halls. There's no way I could take them all out. I just not proud of it. But I ran out through the window and never looked back. I didn't like it. But what could I do? One person against dozens, hundreds, I don't know, maybe 1,000 people. I don't think it would have worked.
Where did this take place?
In Scornable.
Down here.
If you could have saved even just one fellow student, don't you think it would have been worth at least trying? Regardless how many you had to stand against?
The thing is, I'm pretty sure they were right outside my door, about to bash it in. And unfortunately, at the time, the only thing that I had next to me whilst I rested was just, and she kind of reaches in and pulls out 2 daggers, and these are daggers you've not seen. One of them, it's really worn. It looks like it's been well used, but upkept. The other one is more ornamental. Looks like it's not been out of the sheath. It's just ornate handle. What's it called? Stamped leather for the sheath.
Did May look to be the same age as Lucina
Yes,
or Evelyn?
she
So
was
here's-
human. She was human, definitely. But yeah, she was a young woman, early 20s.
Here's where I'm lost. Is that she somehow escaped, heard the attackers say, we have all but one of the students accounted for, which you would expect to be her. But then we also have Evelyn here, who apparently also escaped. So either they're bad at math and don't know what the hell they're talking about, or we're missing a part of the puzzle with May.
Well,
Who is May? Who is May?
well, first let's go down the order.
Do you need to read your own backstory on May? Because I had that was a deep pull for me,
Yeah,
actually.
that was a little bit. And I just need to. Okay. Okay. First and foremost, going down the list of the list of things you were talking about. First, this happened about 5 years ago, and a lot has happened since then. So, whilst I'm thinking that's what was said, I can't be sure. There was a door, fire, screams.
You realize right now you're discussing what she said. Like
Yeah, no,
she heard them say this.
Yes, this isn't fact. This is just kind of what first, because Giovanni said that. Well, Evelyn's giving what she knows, and then she's going to go into what was just brought up. So yeah, and then May she joined the school about the same time I did, maybe a couple weeks after. By the way, this was a basically a combat school, more or less. It's just located in Scornable. It wasn't nothing famous per se, but I believe there was a couple of the former students that ended up in relatively high up guard positions. I think I heard maybe one being a general way out east, but that could easily just be a lie.
Great.
I digress. May was sent there to be, about the same time I was, and skilled. She was skilled, but she let that get to her head. Wasn't putting herself into practice, and eventually everyone just kind of passed her. Yeah, I wasn't one for that. I didn't want that. So I kind of kind of tricked her into working on everything. Kind of turned a couple things into contests. Might have provoked her into fighting, but just ways to get her to train. And yeah, she started getting better, but I don't think she would have enough skill to slaughter everyone, even with a large force. I don't think it would be her leading the charge, but she just kind of trails off. She's not sure.
I start walking towards the palace.
Is everyone else good with this?
Yes.
I let Lucina walk in front of me.
There's
Okay.
fair.
Okay. Yeah, you guys have a somewhat awkward, relatively quiet walk to the rest of the way to the palace. And you as you arrive, there's some guards at the gate. And they kind of like, halt. What's your business here?
We are here to see the monk, Leosin, and kind of Lucina just kind of. I gotta change that now. Evelyn just grabs the Harper's necklace, the Harper's charm around her neck, and just kind of flashes it.
Okay. Oh yes, yes. And they just start like looking around, and like all of a sudden, like Leosin like kind of like walks out from around the corner, and like he sees what's going on, and like they're like, oh, and they like wave him over, and he's like already on his way because he can see you guys coming. And like yeah, so he joins you. Says, welcome. Listen, a lot has happened. While you guys were out following the cult, we've put together a much more organized effort to start opposing the cult. The reason I've called you here is because we actually have there's actually a council that's being held. We have representatives from all the major municipalities on the Sword Coast region. We have representatives from the Harpers, from the Emerald Enclave, and of course the Order of the Gauntlet. You remember Anthar. Uh, we're working on putting together a much more organized resistance here, um, than we previously had.
The Emerald Enclave?
Yeah, they're a collection of druid and rangers. He kind of like refers over to Talia. She might know more. They're all about balance and what have you. Let's see here. He says right now we're actually gathering for the first council meeting. We were actually waiting to get in contact with you guys so we could have this discussion. Seeing as how you guys have some valuable intelligence, and I think you guys we have a lot of people here who are committed to recognize that the cult of the dragon is a threat, and they say that they're committed to the idea of ridding the world of them, but no one's made any substantial substantial commitments yet. No one's committed troops or anything towards this effort. But I think you guys could play a role in convincing them to really commit strong forces to this, so we can defeat this threat. So we've been waiting on you guys to get here so we can start the first council meeting. I think word has already spread that you guys are in the city. So everyone's making their way towards the council chambers right now. I'll lead you guys back there. We can talk about this. And he kind of says, like, just so you know, like, we have representation from the Harpers. I am not going to be in the council sessions, but an associate of mine is. She says, you're gonna, the Harpers are going to be represented by Rhatzeal Haventree. You guys might want to take some like quick notes of just like, faction person.
Don't need to tell me twice. I'm already doing that.
Okay, so I'll go slow. You guys just I'm just gonna give you a quick overview of what's happening of each person, just so you guys have a list, and it's a little bit easier for you to keep straight in your head when I start role playing like 9 different characters. All right, so yeah, there's Rhatzeal Haventree. She is a female moon elf, and she represents the Harpers. There's Anthar Froom, male human paladin, who you've met before. He's representing the Order of the Gauntlet. Let's see here. I think I have pictures for some of these people. Where are my handouts? Named NPCs.
I grimace when I hear Anthar's name.
That's not what I'm looking for. Where is this? No. Oh wait, here we go. Nope, that's not it either. Where the fuck? Oh. Alright, I found it. Alright, so yeah, there's... In case you guys have forgotten what Leosin looks like. There's no picture for Rhatzeal Haventree, but there is Anthar. Okay. He continues. The Emerald Enclave is being represented by Dellen Winterhound. Let's just start typing these in chat here. He is a male half-elven ranger who represents the Elven Enclave.
Male half elf. What?
Ranger.
Hunter?
Ranger.
Oh, ranger.
And then there's a lot of representatives from the Lord's Alliance, because the Lord's Alliance is, like, by definition, they have, like, pretty much a counselor from every city that is part of the Lord's Alliance. He continues, he says, he's kind of representing, like, one of the key players in Waterdeep here is Lady... Lariel Silverhand. Let's see here. She is a female human wizard.
Sounds like we're compiling a party for a hell of a fight in a throne room.
I mean, we also have an army of giants. So we're up for a party.
All right, next is Lord Degalt Nevermember.
He's gonna be the fighter.
He's
It's actually a barbarian.
male human fighter. He's currently Leosin kind of explains, like, Waterdeep is ruled by what they call the masked lords. Like, they're pretty much like, what's the word for it? It's like an oligarchy, like, but they're like a secret oligarchy that kind of runs the city. Like like everyone knows that, like, there's a group of nobles that are in charge of making decisions in
Burgers.
Waterdeep. But like it's not necessarily public
Burgers.
who those people are.
Hoosiers?
Maybe, I'm not
That's
sure. But like, yeah, he's like, yeah. Currently, he explains that Lord Degalt Nevermember is, like, currently, like, Lord Protector of Neverwinter. He's working on, like, rebuilding things up there, and he's also kind of like at the head of like the mass lords of Waterdeep. He's the leader there too.
Who's here from Mintarn?
No one.
Okay.
Okay, continues. Next is Ambassador Conrad Braun Nabel.
He's gonna be the cleric.
Did I spell that right? Braun and there.
Okay, I misheard you entirely. I
Yeah.
just heard comrade
No,
something or other.
Ambassador Conrad Braunenville. He is a shield dwarf, male shield dwarf fighter. He's representing the dwarven kingdoms to the north, Mithril Hall. He's just a delegate, including for the dwarves of the north, including Citadel Adbar and Citadel Felbar. So he's just like he represents the dwarven kingdoms. Marshall Boulder Ravengard. He's a male human fighter from Baldur's Gate. Next is King Melandrach. He represents he's a male wild elf fighter / druid. He represents he is king of the elves of the Misty Forest, and he's here representing the elves of the Misty Forest and the High Forest. So he's kind of representing the elves here. Let's see here. Next is Tarn Thunderspell's Hornblade. He is a male human wizard, and he's representing Silvery Moon. Not to be confused with Silver Wolf.
Couldn't have that.
And last is Sir Istaval. Wait, I didn't spell that right because I'm an idiot. There we go. He is a male human paladin, and he's here representing the Daggerford, like the fort of Daggerford. Okay. So yeah, he's like he kind of goes through the introduction. And okay, I should probably throw this in here just in case you guys didn't get it down correctly. But the first person I talked about, I'm just gonna throw Romelia Haventree of the Harpers, Anthar from the Order of the Gauntlet.
Where was Sir Istaval from?
He's representing the fort of Daggerford, so yeah.
And Giovanni Viviani representing the island of Mintarn. Perfect.
Excellent. Okay.
I don't think you could just do that.
I mean, no one else is here, so we need a representative, I'd assume.
I mean,
someone has to be the pirate lord.
I glare at you.
We're here to party.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, he's like explaining, like he's just like I said, like all these people have troops to, like, valuable resources to commit. Like, he starts kind of going down the list very quick. You don't need to write this down, but like, you know, the Harpers have, mages and scouts. The Gauntlet has paladins and clerics that are going to be useful in battle. The Emerald Enclave has like druids, treants, and some lycanthropes that could serve as really valuable shock troopers. I mean, Lady Silverhand commands the armies of Waterdeep and its conscripts. Lord Nevermember has the might of Neverwinter. Ambassador Bronneval has the ear of the Dwarven forces. Marshal Ravengard uh, leads the Flaming Fists of Baldur's Gate. Kel Malandrach has Eldritch Knights in his Elven ranks. Um, Hornblade has the Army of Silvermoon and all their forces. And yeah, Sir Isteval. I'm actually sure so much about Sir Isteval. I mean, Daggerford has some valuable warriors, but they're kind of a small thing. I'm not really sure why he's on this council. He might be up to something actually, but you know, he has. But Sir Isteval is a good ally to have too. He's a former adventurer, and unlike yourselves, he's done his share of dragon slaying. He's quite the leg wound to show for it. But if nothing else, he certainly provides valuable counsel. He's like, okay, if just you guys have been kind of like walking as you've been talking. It's like, okay, the council chambers are just back here. Um, and like as he's reading in, as he's leading you in, just outside, you're actually stopped by a gentleman who looks like this. And he says, uh, as you guys are like reaching the door, he's like, excuse me, adventurers, I've heard much about you. My name is Sir Isteval. Uh, he says, would you mind if I had a brief word with you before we get started here?
Of course.
Surely, please do.
Leosin kind of like looks at him like kind of strange. He's like, yeah, sure. He's like, this actually give me a moment to go speak with Remy real quick. I wanted to speak with her before we got started, so yeah, sure. You can talk with them, and like you see Leosin go in, and he makes his way over to a woman sitting. There's like a round table in the middle of the council chamber, and you see him make his way over to a woman, and like start like whispering in her ear. You notice that woman has the emblem of the Harpers on a pendant hanging around her neck. Um, so yeah, he says, I've heard much about you. Leosin and Anthar speak very highly of you, and quite frankly, I I have much more faith in their word than of the nobles that make up most of the rest of this council. So if they have good things to say about you, you must be you must be quite the folks. He says, yeah, I've heard so much about you. Some more about some of you than others. And he actually kind of like notice him sort of turn towards Bertus as he says this. Um, but he continues on. He says, okay, the reason why I've asked to speak with you here is, I am the representative from Daggerford, but I have to admit that I'm actually here under some false pretenses, and I respect all the members of this council too much to withhold that information from them. Uh, Nonetheless, I expect there's going to be some amount of uproar when I bring this up, and you know, I still have some valuable stuff to contribute to this council. But I could use a little bit of support, as I as the lords of the council are likely to react somewhat negatively to what I have to say.
And what is it? Be clear.
He says, "Oh, of course. I I come from the land of Cormyr, to the east. Um, and I have been asked by leadership at Cormyr to spy on this meeting. Because they've also heard of the threat of of the of the this cult, and they want information on it. Um, and they asked me to go obtain it. Um, that being said, there's no reason why Cormyr can't be an ally in this. At my recommendation, we could possibly commit the let's see here, what are they called? Um, we could commit the full military might of Cormyr, and including our famous Purple Dragon Knights and our War Wizards would be invaluable in this struggle. But the Lord's Alliance won't like the idea of Cormyr sticking their nose in this. They might interpret it as us or as Cormyr, lining up for an attack on the Sword Coast region. And the whole reason the Lord's Alliance exists is so they can maintain their own city-states without fear from outside nations. So me telling them that that self-declaring that I'm a spy from Cormyr will likely have their first reaction is going to remove me from the situation. But like I said, like there's no reason why. I have much to contribute here, and Cormyr can quite frankly be an invaluable ally in this struggle. And I could use a little bit of backup for keeping me in the talks.
Can I
Right.
inside check that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
Just kidding.
Yeah, seems truthful to you.
I'd want to see for ulterior motives.
Boo.
As far as all of you can tell, he's being exceptionally genuine.
And what do you have to gain from benefiting Cormyr?
He said, I don't. Quite frankly, I am not a nationalist. I don't really care what Cormyr gains from this. They might hope that by committing troops here, that they gain some amount of influence within the area and maybe get some lands. But I quite frankly, it means nothing to me. Cormyr has asked me to keep them informed of what's happening here. And I've agreed to do it because I think I have a lot to be gained, and these people represent, or I have a lot to contribute, and these people represent a significant threat that I don't want to sit idly by and watch. I'd much rather be on the front lines fighting it than
So you plan to announce yourself as a spy for a city-state outside of the Sword Coast, which
a
quite
nation,
frankly,
actually. You've heard of Cormyr. Cormyr is a kingdom, really.
it's big, yeah.
Yeah, that's big.
But same difference. For an unpopular organization, and what you're going to be requesting is that they be able to march their troops through the Sword Coast unchecked.
What I'm going to I'm going to offer them nothing right now. Right as it stands right now, I can't in good conscience tell Cormyr to send troops. But if if the threat seems great enough, that is an option. I have their ear, and I'm not suggesting. I'm positive that the Lords of Waterdeep wouldn't, or the Lords of the Lords Alliance wouldn't um, want a full army walking in, but certainly a detachment of Purple Knights and of War Wizards could be invaluable in your fight against um, this dragon cult. And uh, if you guys, if the threat is as great and as it seems, that is something that I can certainly negotiate for on behalf of the council.
But what do you stand to benefit?
I like my home here in the Sword Coast, and I don't want to get overrun by dragons.
I mean, that's a fair point.
He's putting it out there. He's like, I am not a politician. You know, I've been an adventurer all my life, and now I train fighters in my later years. He just so you can't see this in the picture, but this guy he has a cane, and like he does not he can't put any weight on one of his legs. Like he's like I've fought my battles, and I've gotten my glory, and I feel fulfilled in life. The only thing I have left now is to protect the people that I can, and to train the next generation of of warriors who will be the heroes of this world. Why don't you all make a history check real quick for me, actually?
Yep, that's some history there.
I mean, everyone except for like Evelyn has heard of this guy before. Like this guy's is like a legend. Like you recognize the wound on his leg, and you know that he got that. Let's see here. Da 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 da. Like you know that he has a wound on his leg that resists magical healing. And you know, like you heard the story of how he got that when from a fang of a green dragon that he slayed. Um, like this guy's legendary as far as like he's the adventurer that like some of you wish you could be someday. Like he's just everyone's heard stories of Sir Isteval before, except for Evelyn. Like in the stories, he's represented as like this paragon of virtue who who fights for good. And
Well, history's written by the victor, so guess we'll see how that turns out.
he says, like, listen, I intend to earn your faith as much as I'm
Sorry.
asking for it. But really, the only thing I'm asking for here is that when I tell them that I'm here, because Cormier asked me to be, there's going to be some upheaval in the ranks. I'm just asking if you try to calm everyone down a little bit.
I can do that.
Okay. Well, we can't be we can't be fighting in the war room, so.
Okay. Is everyone good with that?
I won't be personally supporting him, but I'm not going to stand in anyone else's way.
All right. Well, with that, he says, "Okay, listen, they're gathering there. We really need to get moving. I appreciate your support if you can offer it, but we need to move in here." And yeah, you guys kind of move in around the table. Like on one side of the table, some seats have been left. Like you see most of the lords sitting around like in an arc on like the kind of far side of the table. But on the close side of the table, there's a group of seats that have been left for you. Yeah, you guys also recognize Madrith Mestic in the council chambers as well. She is the silver dragonborn female paladin that Virtus ran into the first time you guys were in Waterdeep. That she knows Virtus. She looks kind of like this. It's not the perfect picture, but it's the one I've selected because I thought it was the best one I could find that shows her. And like she kind of like sees you guys enter. She like sees Virtus and like kind of like rolls her eyes and like she takes a seat.
So you
Near.
kill any villages lately?
She takes a seat and like the only open seats are the ones that are kind of close to her. Actually, like she sits on like the far right side of the row of open seats, but there's 5 more for you guys sitting there.
I'll sit down right beside her.
Okay. She tenses up a little bit as you sit next to her, but like then like seems to relax a little bit. She's still got like a stern look on her face. She doesn't look at you. She's just looking forward to the center of the table.
I'll take a seat next to Virtus.
Does everyone take a
No.
seat? Is that what's happening now, or no?
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing.
Okay. And he says, and like, an older gentleman kind of like steps up and he says like, okay, we're gonna call this to order here. We're gonna get started. You know, I know most of us know each other, but since we have some new guests here, I think brief introductions are in order. And he says, Crier, could you help us out real quick? And he said, like a guy who's like kind of off to the side, like he had like a notebook open, like parchment open, like looks like he's ready to take like minutes for this meeting and stuff. He steps up. He's like, oh yes. He says, um, we'll introduce ourselves. Introduce each person individually. Please just like wave. And he says, Remelia Haventree, representing the Harpers, noble of Waterdeep, and like the woman that Leosin kind of spoke to briefly before Leosin took off, like does a little wave and nods her head. Antharf Room, he's still in his full plate mail and with his gauntlet. He raises his gauntlet in a fist in recognition. Delin Winterhound, the a like a guy who's like wearing a ranger's hood who you almost like didn't even notice while taking seats at the table, like just briefly nods. He doesn't say a word. Lady Silverhand, she does a brief bow. Lord Nevermember, the guy who is like kind of calling the meeting to order, like nods his head. Ambassador Bronneville, there's like the shield dwarf. He just seems kind of annoyed with this. He's like, yes, get on with it. Ravengard, he sort of goes down the rest of the list and it finishes on Sir Isteval, and Isteval is he says, friends, something I must bring up real quick. I am here as a guest of Daggerford, but I need to let you know that I've been asked by the Kingdom of Cormyr to keep them informed on the contents of this meeting, because they have an interest in knowing how this threat is progressing, and like the Remelia Haventree, Antharf Room, and Delin, I just lost his name.
Winterhound.
Yeah, Delin Winterhound, like they kind of like take this in stride, but like all of the lords of the representatives of the Lords Alliance like seem kind of inflamed by this. Like, you represent an outside kingdom, in like what interest do they have in the affairs happening here? Like this is a problem of the Sword Coast, and like Sarasphal's like, please, like we this threat could threaten the whole world. We need to all work together on this. I assure you that my loyalties to this council, to loyalties to the Ford of Daggerford, and to the nation of Cormyr, and to all good folk of this world. These interests are not mutually exclusive. I please, I insist that you understand that about me. And like there's some like murmuring and stuff that, like, and the let's see here, Ambassador well, actually no, we'll say Lord Nevermember says we can't just have a spy in our meetings. Like, this is unacceptable. Like, and like there's like some murmuring of agreement.
I rap my knuckles on the table in front of me. I stand up. I say, Sir Isteval is known among all of us. It's a legend in these parts. If he wanted to be a spy without informing us, he would have already done so. There's nothing for him. Obviously, there's nothing for him to gain not being honest with us. I don't think if Cormier wanted, they could just walk in here and make this all hard on us, knowing that they know all these rumors about Tiamat coming back. He has nothing to gain by
Okay.
outing himself like this.
Make a persuasion
We ought to
check.
let him speak.
Yeah. But everyone's gonna quiet down, and even like the more heated members of the Lore's Alliance are like, fine, fine, fine. He stays, but if there's an army. If we find an army on our eastern borders, it's your head that's going on a spike first.
I just shrug.
No, he wasn't speaking to you. He was speaking to Siristoval, but
Yeah,
I
Ross
still
doesn't
shrug.
care. Ross doesn't care. I'll be on
and
the ocean by then.
Siristoval, like nods, says, and he says, and then the crier continues. He's like, but we have new guests joining us. We have Vertus Vivectus, Rhatzeal Notos, Talia Vivtarok, Lucina Nilo, and Giovanni Viviani. We understand. Like they make their introductions, and so Lord Nevermember sort of regains control of the council, and he says, "Okay, thank you for making introductions and what have you." He says, "We've heard much about. We have our own intelligence. The Harpers have been contributing a lot of information, but we've heard a lot about this threat of this dragon cult and their increasing activities. We've all felt their movements in our own ways, and it's only now we're getting a bigger picture." Um, he says, "We'd like to hear from you, adventurers. You know as much about this as any of us do, seeing as how you've been in the thick of it for a while. Um, we'd like to hear from you about what happened. Um, we understand you were following. We understand that your adventure started when back in Green Nest, and that you found a dragon hatchery of some sort. Can you tell us what happened there?"
Well,
I gladly could.
Well,
We
stopped it.
infiltrated
and destroyed all the eggs.
Do you tell him
except
that?
for the 3 that we sold to the
No,
Lord
no,
of
no, no. We
Elturel.
don't. We didn't sell any eggs. We
Who-
destroyed them all.
Is this all in character? Did you guys say that?
I did.
Okay.
I said what I said.
And
Who actually doesn't have a representative here today, which you all might find amusing, but
and some of the members of the council are like, you didn't destroy the dragon. You sold the dragon. Who did you sell them to?
Lord Hideout.
What's that? What'd you say?
Lord Hideout, the Lord of Elturel.
Okay. And like, there's like murmuring here, and they're like, and like, Remelia Haventree kind of speaks up. She's like, "Well, I think that was wise. We can use these dragons to if we had destroyed the eggs, like we would have lost significant leverage. These dragons can be used as ransom against their parents to keep them away from flocking to the cult. This is a great resource that we couldn't let go." You see Anthar. He seems kind of like conflicted. He says, "You gave dragon. You just released dragon eggs into the world, into my city." Like, he seems kind of,
indeed,
We
we
did.
did.
We didn't release them. We got money for them.
and like,
Yet where better to entrust the raising of baby dragons than the city of Elturel, protected by its ever-glowing light from the surrounding undead, which nobody would dare travel through to obtain the dragon themselves. I'm sure that you could also agree that the security of your city would be far superior to that of one that, well, could be so large, such as, well,
Scornabel.
Baldur's Gate.
and like Anthar's like, chromatic dragons, they're impossible to control. They're forces of evil. He seems like, but like as he's kind of like dealing with this, like Lady Silverhand says, "Well, I think these are great resources. It's very wise, and like Lord Nevermember kind of like steps up. He's like, yes, I agree, but um, like but like the dwarf Conrad Brandeville kind of speaks up. He's like, this was that was horribly reckless. Like these, you can't control dragons. And like King Melandrach and Older Ravengard, and even Sir Isteval seems kind of like put off by this. They all kind of agree and say, I don't know about that.
Well, they'll take forever to get to being, dangerous size. I'm pretty sure if they get to be a problem when they're young, you can slit their throats, no problem.
The only person who hasn't said anything so far is Winterhound, who kind of like he says, keeping the dragon eggs safe was a good idea. I approve. Uh, and he says, well, and then they kind of like wave their hands, saying, okay, well, that's whatever. That's past us. It's an asset that we have. We'll try to leverage it in whatever way we can. Next, we understand that you followed, you managed to get on the cult's trail and you followed them up towards the north through this city even.
That would be correct.
And what happened after that? We can sort of Scooby-Doo the details here. If you guys moving into the Mirror of Dead Men, assaulting the castle, and going through the portal and what have you.
Pretty much.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys sort of tell that story. Next, like, sort of thing I want to get to is, the castle. Describe the incidents on the castle to the council in whatever way you see fit.
Okay, so we infiltrated a flying castle and assassinated several members of the upper echelons of the cult.
This is also accurate.
They're like, and what? Who are these people?
And this is where things come into. This is where things all come up me. I pull out their robes that I took from them.
They seem very impressed. They see the robes you present, and they're like, wow, that's quite impressive. And as like you're sort of going over this, like, did you take the robes of Wrath Mordar?
Yes, I did.
As you sort of present the red robes, everyone seems impressed, and like, as you guys are sort of telling the story about slaying Wrath Modar and like the conversation you had with him, like you see Haventree, Remelia Haventree frown a little bit. She's like, it sounded, this Wrath Mordar person, it sounded like he knew much about this ritual to some of them. It would have been excellent to question him. It's a shame he's gone now.
He wasn't talking.
Well, we had ways of, with more time, of making him talk. It would have been nice to have that resource.
Yes, unfortunately, we did not have the means to ensure that he would allow us to live to be a resource here today. So.
Okay, well, she kind of.
Only a few particular cities had listened to us sooner and taken this threat more seriously, we would have had those extra resources.
And she says, well, I digress. It's a shame, but it can't be helped at this point. All right. Do you guys tell them about the like the sort of alliance you formed with Blogathus?
Yes.
That might be smart.
And how we happened to kill the White Dragon of the North, Rhatzeal.
And a vampire.
Okay, well, they seem impressed by the slaying of the dragon, the vampire, and what have you. But the dwarven representative, Brondeville, seems visually agitated at the suggestion that you guys, like, you formed alliance with giants, with a cloud giant no less, one that says that he's amassing an army in the north border. So you realize these people threaten my borders every day. They're a plague on dwarven society in the north.
And you realize that Tiamat is a threat to all of Faerun. We can settle your border disputes at a later time.
Okay,
This is
just-
a much more grave matter.
Well, he says he seems like he's starting to lose his temper a little. He says, "Well, whatever. What happened to the castle after you guys were done there?"
It continues its way north.
He says, "You had this castle and you left it in possession with giants. You just left it with them."
It was
That
their
would be
castle.
accurate because it was theirs to begin with.
Yeah.
He's like furious. He's like shouting, screaming. Everyone else is like, "Oh, okay." Well, like a few of the Remelia, Onthar, and Nevermember and Ravengard all sort of say, "Well, that castle would have been like a perfect assault vehicle. It's a shame that we don't have it anymore, but
Well,
I
like
guess
we
it
don't
was
have
to
it.
go
one of
and
the giants,
murder
but Conrad Brandlevel is he's furious and he's just shouting, like he's just like ranting and raving like for like a minute straight before like Lord Nevermember like finally loses his patience. Says, "Okay, Brandlevel, that's enough. We have business to attend to here. You've made your displeasure known. Please take your seat." And like he does, but you can see like he's just visibly fuming still. Says, "Okay, well, we're pretty much up to date here as far as everything that's happened. Uh, let's start discussing next steps." Um, and he says he gestures to Remelia Haventree, who kind of like raises her hand and says, "Yes, we've heard we have some intelligence that suggests that a member of the leadership of the Cult of the Dragon might be in the wind here, and we might have an opportunity to catch up with him and uh, either capture him or eliminate him. So it's an opportunity that we can't pass up if possible. But I can brief you guys on this afterwards in a more private session. And as this is happening, like you guys, she's discussing this. She's this there's like some like noise coming over from like the door of the council chamber, like and like a guard kind of pokes his head in and says, "Excuse me, we have someone here who insists on addressing the council." And Lord Nevermember is like, people don't just insist on butting into a private council meeting with us. She says, well, she insisted this is something you're gonna want to hear, and um, like, and he says, okay, whatever, wave her in, and a person enters. This person is a female. She they like, oh yeah, Lady Silver Helve. Here, I'll just give you her name. Silmer Helve. Like, oh, it's Lady Silmer Helve. How can we help you? Um, this woman is a water uh Waterhavian noble. She's from the city of Waterdeep, so like she gets some respect here. But she says she says you all felt an unusual sensation earlier. Yes, everything seemed to go quiet for a moment. It seemed unsettling. Is that would you all say that's accurate?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, and like the members of the council look at each other. Says, I suppose, yeah, I know. It's for but a moment. What's this about?" And she continues. She says, I know what this disturbance is." She says, "The disturbance that has been sent across the Sword Coast is the Drakhorn, an ancient device whose sounding alerts dragons across Faerun that great events are unfolding. It's impossible to say what the sounding means, but the dragons hear it clearly and will eventually answer its call." Um,
And where does it sound from?
she's okay. Let's see here. Do. Sorry, this stuff gets less organized. Um, she says, um, the Sea of Moving Ice was the last known location of the Drakhorn. No one can pinpoint its present location from the sound, or even verify with certainty that the relic is still in the Northern Sea, but the search must start there. The one person who could tell us more is a tiefling sorcerer called Makath the Crimson. No one alive knows more about the Drakhorn than her, but the arcane brother, excuse me, the arcane brotherhood of which she is also a member hasn't seen her for the last 3 years. Um, she was investigating the Sea of Moving Ice when she disappeared.
Isn't the Sea of Moving Ice huge?
It's up here.
It's not tiny.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
And you just expect someone to waltz up there and find your missing sorceress.
Um, one of the other members of the council speaks up and says, we've actually heard of this Makath the Crimson person. We might have some leads on how we could track her up there, but yes, it would be a large search to conduct. But it's not infeasible if we think this is something that's important enough to be investigated right away.
And I assume you propose that we go up there. Would I be correct?
She says, I'm not a member of this council. I have no idea what you guys are doing here, but I don't know. I don't really care who does it. I think it's something important that you should probably look into. She says, all this information is spread out now in weird ways. She says, I know about Makath. I've met this person before. I have some Drakhorn, something I've been interested in for some time. She says, Makath was up there looking for her, and she was reporting her progress to Hothstower, which is the headquarters of the Arcane Brotherhood, located in Luskan. She was sending them progress reports by way of sending spells, but her last report spoke of seeing ice hunters paddling their sealskin boats towards a huge iceberg that had like a flattened like plateau across its surface, but ringed by icy peaks. She intended to follow the ice hunters and investigate the iceberg, and after that, no more reports came. Attempts to find Makath using scrying and other magical means located only her ship, adrift and heavily damaged. Some of the ship's crew were seen dead, but no sign of the tiefling sorcerer was ever found. However, there's a rumor that there's a dragon who a white dragon who lives up in the Sea of Moving Ice, and his name is called Aranthor. I can't really shit at pronouncing a lot of these things. Says it's rumored that there's a dragon, an old white dragon. Some people call him Old White Death, who lives up in the Sea of Moving Ice. And there's some, evidence that is linked to he is linked to the Drakhorn. He's just like, yeah, so no evidence of the tiefling sorcerer was ever found. However, the lair of a dragon is powerful, as Arathathor is no doubt protecting against scrying magic. If Makath is alive, in addition to the lore she can share regarding the Drakhorn, the Arcane Brotherhood would be most grateful to get her back. I'm not sure if they represent any value to this council. And she's kind of like that's my piece. Do you folks have any questions for me? Or should I take my leave?
You should take your leave.
All right. She like bows her head and ducks out. She says, yeah, I'll be around if you need to speak to me further."
Yeah, I pressed accept quest.
So they're like, "Okay, well, interesting. These both this member of the cult and this Draghorn thing sound important. It's hard to say which is more important. They say, but okay, back to the issue at hand. He says, "Here's the deal. Um, you guys have done amazing work investigating so far, and we'd like you to continue to do so. Not out of the goodness of your heart, obviously, we're well equipped to pay you here. We don't have a specific agreement in mind of how much you'll get paid for this, but we can assure you that if you take up this quest, we'll make it worth your while. You guys have come this far. I can tell by how much your pockets are jingling that you've made. This has been a wealthy venture, a profitable venture for you so far. And we'd like you to continue doing so. With that, Lord Nevermember has a set of 5 scrolls set in front of him, and he pushes all 5 of them across the table to each of you, and he says, "These are writs of giving you emergency investigative powers. You can use most anywhere on the Swords Coast. Showing these writs will get you a certain amount of respect and access to resources. But just keep in mind that if you start murdering people and trying to show this writ to get out of it, it's going to get back to us, and that's not going to be a good thing. So you guys do good work, and this will get you access to more, to more than you had access to before. And yeah, we can continue to stop this dragon cult. Is that acceptable?"
Yes.
That's all well and good, but in the meantime, what are the members of this council going to do to stop the dragon cult?
Says we have more agents out who are out listening, gathering resources, like Lady Haventree said. There, of course, her scouts have gotten back to her about this opportunity to perhaps track down one of the members of the cult, and that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to gather as much information as possible, and we're relying on you to do it. You're the hand of this council right now.
Well, I guess we're gonna go find an icy warhorn of the Northwest Oceans.
Hand of the council, kind of like that.
And they're like, okay, with that, we'd like to dismiss. And he slams the gavel and stuff. And Sir Istival kind of wanders over and says, thank you. So, speaking specifically to Rhatzeal, thank you for speaking on my behalf. I knew they would see reason, but I appreciate you, speaking on my behalf regardless.
I shrug again. I say you're either the biggest idiot I've ever met or a more clever man than you're worth.
He says, "Well, I've made a life out of walking that line." He says he kind of looks at you. He says, "Would you guys actually mind hanging out here for a couple minutes? There's actually a member of my own delegation that who I think would be worthwhile for you to meet. So if you guys just don't mind hanging out here for 5 minutes while I go retrieve them, that would be I'd appreciate that. I think you'll find it's within your interest too."
Sure.
Okay. He kind of nods and he starts cane in hand, hobbling off out the door. Yeah, is there anyone here you want to talk to?
No.
No.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I need to.
I mean, Rhatzeal is still in there, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So you want to talk to Rhatzeal Haventree?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you walk over to her and she says, yes, Leosin has spoken highly of the five of you. It is a pleasure to finally make all your acquaintances. Uh,
Yes, and now, seeing as we weren't given much in the way of information before we went trapezing around the Sword Coast, it sounds like we're probably going to be heading north.
she says,
In
yes, if Lady Silmer Helve has presented something that might be critical in finding out what's happening here. We've been tracking reports that Varum the White, who I believe you might have heard of before, is possibly exposed
yes.
right now. But I must admit, perhaps what Lady Helve has presented is potentially more important than tracking down a single member of the cult, however high-ranking he might be. But I leave that judgment to you. I can give you a little bit of intel on where he might be going, if you'd like. But it's we're still working on getting everything straight.
Well, I think that'd be immediately useful. But in general, do you have any names of contacts for the road north? Anyone in like Luskan or Neverwinter? Anywhere
Says,
once we start getting really far?
yes, we have some some agents up as far as Luskan. In like I said, the Arcane Brotherhood's up there, and they're always a resource of information. Um, though, so we have an agent up there keeping an eye on her on that, and that agent's name is shit. Let's make one up real quick. Da da da. Percentage dice. We have an agent up there by a last name named Niobe who's been keeping an eye up there. She hangs out in a tavern up there called the Frozen Boar. That's kind of where she's been basing her operation out of.
Okay.
Let me write down her name before I forget it.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Okay. And then one last question. This is just more in general. Are you familiar with a band of people, mercenary something, whose crest is a crossed swords over behind a shield with the visage of I believe it was a jackal or a red dog.
And she thinks about this. She says, "Not off the top of my head. Certainly not one of the major players, at least. Um, but yeah, I can keep an eye out for that kind of information for you. Certainly. I'm going to be here, but I could certainly dispatch a couple of our agents who are free right now to investigate that further if you'd like me to."
Yes, that I would much appreciate that.
She nods and says, "That'll be no problem at all, Lucina." And you kind of like see her like half wink as she refers to you as Lucina. But yeah. Um, but yeah, that's what she says. Okay, let me just finish typing this note real quick, and then I can get back to what I was doing. Okay.
Yep.
I called it the Frozen Boar, right?
Yeah, Frozen Boar. And then there's Obi-Wan Niobe.
Yes, Niobe. Okay. So yeah, you guys are having this chat with Remy Haventree. And Yes. Okay. So yeah, you guys are all like just like facing her, speaking with her, and suddenly from the door of the council chamber, you hear a monstrous shriek, like the volume of which is like you guys have been next to Talia when she's like unloaded a thunder wave a couple times, and it's loud, and like this is as loud as that is. And like the frequency of this screech is like as piercing as any banshee's wail that you've ever heard in legend. I'd like everyone to make a constitution saving throw.
Okay.
That one, here we go.
Well, there was a nat 1 in there.
Where's Talia?
2 of them.
All right, so yeah, you guys actually kind of all like your instinct is like put your hand over your ears, but you're all kind of like you all managed to sort of like keep yourself from like being. You were gonna be stunned if you failed this, but um. So yeah, so all of you have your wits about you enough to hear the clang of metal hitting the floor from over near the council, from the doors to the council chamber. Like and yes, and you hear footsteps like coming fast from behind, heavy footsteps, approaching fast to your back. Virtus, you feel 2 appendages wrap around your waist from your back just before feeling a heavy impact hit you from behind. Make a strength saving throw.
Okay, quick question. With that 5K experience we got in the castle, if that leveled us up since we were traveling, did we actually level up or not?
Sure, if you this is evidently relevant to this role, sure, go for it.
It is, because when I hit level 8, I put those ASIs into strength. So
Okay. You managed to hold your ground. But you are still currently grappled. This creature is still has you around the waist. And as you begin to try to break free from his ambush, you suddenly realize that you've heard that shriek all too many times before. You know the beast that currently has a hold on you. The rest of you, finally able to assess the situation after shaking off the effects of that loud screech, like turn to Virtus to see what's happening, and you finally get a look on what's assaulting him. And what you see is not a banshee, or indeed any manner of undead, aberration, or beast at all. What you see is a set of plate armor with a head of blonde hair attached to the top of it, tied in a braid that flails wildly as Virtus tries to shake himself free. Um, all in all, barely 5 feet in height. What you see, refusing to break its embrace from Virtus, is the bubbly form of Valme Vivictus. And so, Virtus, you realize that you know that shriek. And like, as you're like, trying to like break free from this, like you just like Valme is just refusing to let go of you, and she's just going Virtus, 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 like, and like won't let go of you.
So Virtus just doesn't know how to respond. He's like, you were, when did, huh?
And like, yeah, like she this goes on for like 10 seconds. And like finally she like lets go, and like she like moves around you, and like she's just like standing like face to face with you, and she's just like smiling, grinning from ear to ear, and like she's just looks so happy to see you. And like eventually, like after a couple seconds, she just like leans in for like one like regular hug that's less tackle hug less, and like just gives you like a quick one, and like finally like lets go. And like it's at this point that she like finally looks around the room, as if at this exact moment she's realized that you two aren't the only 2 people in the room. Like and she like looks around, like there's like lords of like like nobles from Waterdeep around. There's the lords of the Lords Alliance, and like she's just like looking around. She's like oh huh, I guess that wasn't the most professional thing I could have done. And like she eyes Sir Istval, who's like limping in from the door of the council chamber, where holding his cane in one hand and the buckler shield she just dropped in the other. And she says, like, he walks up and says, "That's all right, child. Spend as much time as you need catching up with your brother. Do try to hold on to your shield, though." He says as he hands the shield back to May.
How did you get here?
She's like, "Oh man, it was great. I'm training. I want to be a paladin just like you, and like I've been training really hard. I I tried to go get into the golden line, but they said I need some more training." She kind of trails off and like to like she says, "But never mind that. Like I've been getting a lot stronger since then. Like I went to a mage's guild. Like I went on an adventure there. There's a whole book that has my actions in it. It's great." And she says, "But yeah, I ended up meeting up with Sir Istobal later, and like he said he'd train me, and now here I am. I'm training with Sir Istobal, and now I get to see you, and this is the best day ever."
Well, you definitely picked a worthy mentor.
He says, "I know, right? He kills dragons. That's pretty sweet."
Yeah, dragons are definitely a dangerous foe. I would know from experience.
It's like, what? You fought a dragon?
Not like we killed one or anything.
We actually just got back from fighting a dragon in a giant floating fortress of all things.
She's like, I mean, you're pulling my leg. You can't like you didn't fight. You're messing with me, right? She kind of like looks. She starts like looking at the other four of you for like clues. I'm like,
I pull out a bloody roll of mediocre looking white dragon scales from
she
my
like looks.
pack.
She's like, "Oh, cool." And she's like, "Holy shit! You actually fought a dragon."
Your brother was kind of a badass.
And she's like, she's like thinking about it. She's like, "Yeah, that makes sense. That's awesome. You have to tell me all about like you killed a dragon. You have to tell me all about this." And she's like freaking out. She's like, "Tell me about everything. Like what have you been doing? When did you get back to when did you get to the Sword Coast? I thought you were out in I forget where the Dragonborn all live.
Time Anther.
Yes, I thought you were out in Time Manor. What?"
There's been a lot of development since then. And I made new friends here, and we kind of got wrapped up
as you say developments, like you hear like a muffled voice from your back that says, "Oh, developments. Yes, that's a word for it."
Shut up, talking sword.
Wait, is that the sword or is that?
Yes, that's the sword.
Oh. Did Valme hear that?
Oh. Make a perception check. No, she didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of got wrapped up in the wrongdoings of this cult, and we've been pursuing them ever since. And now here we are, about to embark on another adventure to try to find this horn and do what we can to stop the uprising of Tiamat.
So she's like, "So you guys are pretty much trying to save the world, then, huh?" Sir Istobal seemed pretty concerned about this.
I mean, that's one way you could put it.
She's like, "That's fucking awesome." Yeah, we totally need to get like some drinks and catch up and like hang out and stuff. But she's like kind of, she's like, "Oh shoot. This has been good, but like I should really get back to work." Sir Istobal brought me along to this to Waterdeep so I can learn a little bit more about like develop my sense for diplomacy, but I still have a lot of regular training that I need to keep up with. And yeah, I think he's waiting on me. I should get going, but I am so happy to see you, Virtus.
Oh, we'll definitely catch up sometime. I'm sure our paths will cross again, and I'll also take out one of the dragon scales that Talia gave me and hand it to her to keep.
She's like, she's just beaming. She doesn't even have words. She's just so happy. She's like, thank you. I'm like she's just so happy, and like she kind of like almost skips out the door and trailing behind Cirrus the ball.
That scene was so anime. So desu ka?
Sugoi.
I try. But yes, I was pretty excited about writing that scene. So, yes, done.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's what I got.
So is Nadrith still here?
Yes, she is, and she like she like was like she like as you turn to look at her, she's like looking at this with like like if she had eyebrows, they would be raised. Like she's just like she seems kind of like dumbstruck. She's like, "You're related to that?" And like,
Does that surprise you?
it's like, I mean, she's so bubbly. And she says like bubbly, like kind of the same way like you say like I don't know, like disgusting.
disdain.
Like it's like she's like she seems as like taken aback. Like she's like she wants to be a paladin, but she's like that. It's like she's just like processing. Like she's just trying to like compute what that means, and like kind of failing. But yeah, that's she's just like kind of like she seems just kind of like stuck on this. Like
Well, we all have different outlooks on life, and quite frankly, I think some paladin orders could use a change of view and maybe a little bit of that spark of life instead of being so dead set in their ancestral ways.
eh, she kind of like shakes us off. She's like, yeah, perhaps you're right. Yes. Although some traditions should probably be preserved, primarily the ones where as you grow as a negotiator, you probably shouldn't kill everyone inside.
Well, if you ever have to face a threat like we have lately, maybe one day you'll understand that sometimes ending that threat permanently is the only course of action.
And like you say this, and like she like you kind of see her go away. Like she goes somewhere else in her head, and it's like she seems to be like seriously thinking about something. She says, "Well, perhaps." And it's like, do you guys need anything else? I really need to send a report back to Tymanter to get more members of the Cater down here. I don't even know if I can rally that message fast enough to get them here to make a difference, but this is clearly a much bigger deal than they thought it was when they sent me here by myself. So I need to get a message out.
Oh, by all means, feel free.
She's like, she kind of like wanders towards the door, and you see her still kind of like almost lost in thought as she does. What now?
I say we take a boat. No, I'm serious though.
A boat, you say?
You all speak of your sailing capabilities. I'm sure Giovanni would love to map more of the actual coast. And would it not be faster towards Luskan and the moving ice sea if we took a boat as opposed
Well,
to our usual methods of travel?
that really depends on the wind, but it could be, yeah.
As you guys are saying this, like Haven Tree kind of actually comes back in the room. Like she wandered out briefly. To do it. It's funny you should say that. We're actually just set up some arrangements to get you guys up the coast. I spoke with some of my contacts. I found a ship captain who can navigate the sea of moving ice, and it sounds like exactly what you need if that's what you intend to do.
I don't so much know if we need the captain, according to the legend of sailing I've heard in our party, but
Make an
yes,
intelligence
definitely.
check, Virtus.
A
Yeah,
prepared
I am
boat would
pretty
be
great at
nice.
sailing.
Right. Oh, intelligence. I don't do this often. I don't know what that says about me, but well, that,
Yeah, I mean,
That says enough. That says
absolutely.
enough.
5-man crew sailing the sea of moving ice sounds perfectly reasonable to you. I'd like Rhatzeal to make the same check with advantage.
I swear to God, if you get a nat one.
So Rhatzeal, because you know that one does not simply take a boat up to the sea of moving ice. Maybe you've never been there yourself, but like the thing about the sea of moving ice is that it's a sea of moving ice. It closes off in some points, and which means that occasionally what you have to do is you need a boat that is light enough to be picked up by the crew and moved across the ice. And you know that, based off
Vaughn?
what's that?
How tall is Vaughn?
Well,
How tall is
Virtus.
Virtus can easily lift a galleon. I'm just gonna say that.
How tall is Virtus? 6 something?
actually, he's not. Since he's half elf, they don't get much higher than around 6 feet. So he's right around like 6 feet.
Okay, I just look
So
up at
your
Virtus.
5'2"
and
sister looked hilarious, clinging on to you, by the way. But
I just look up at Virtus and I pat him on the head. I get on my tiptoes and I pat him on the head and go, "Oh, you sweet summer child."
I thought
but
Rhatzeal was like 6'2".
he is once he gains 6 inches. But
Yeah,
No, I'm 5'7". I was 5'1" before I gained 6
He was
inches.
tiny. He was tiny.
okay, but
He was
yeah,
shorter than me.
you see, Rhatzeal can tell you that to navigate the sea of moving ice, you need certain kinds of ship. Ones with low draft, they're lightweight, lightweight enough to be picked up and moved by the entire crew across. The wind, because you're not navigating as because it's not just like normal sailing where you can just like tack sails and stuff based on the wind, because the ice restricts your movement. You need ships that come equipped with oars. So Rhatzeal knows for certain that the best way to navigate the sea of moving ice is typically in like a long ship, single sail vessel, relatively lightweight, crew of about 40 to 50, that can just that comes with oars to row in case you can't use the wind, and then that's typically still lightweight enough to be picked up and moved by the crew in the event that you need to cross ice. So navigating the sea of moving ice as a 5-man crew is a near impossible venture.
Oh, I
Virtus,
wasn't
I'm
implying that we do it alone. I was implying that our captain may be better than the captain you say that you can provide.
Virtus, please.
Look,
I agree. I would be a much better captain than any that you provided.
look, guys.
Captain Misha.
I was about to say Misha may have been a pirate in a past life, but he's left that behind him, or her. I'm not sure which at this point.
Pretty sure we agreed that it's a he.
It's definitely a her. I think that vote.
That's
was
why I said
skewed.
I'm not sure at this point.
I keep calling you the
knows?
she.
Nice. Okay. Anyways, this is okay.
Richard just doesn't want she because of his old Russian girlfriend. That's it. That's the only reason.
You're not wrong. Let's not talk about her. Anyways, she goes, yeah, but you can work that out with them, but we definitely have the perfect vessel for you. Down in the harbor right now, actually.
I take off running.
But we just got back.
I guess I'm glad that it's not somewhere other than the harbor. That would be disastrous.
We have this boat for you. Where is it? Oh, it's on top of a mountain.
I would still take off running.
Well, as opposed to it needs a few days to sail here, or you need to go meet it somewhere. But okay, yeah. Yeah, as you take off running, you hear a whisper in the back of your mind. Says, Um, down by the docks, an old friend has something for you. It's time that we start gathering more resources, and I need you to retrieve them for me. He'll explain more.
Oh, just when I thought I was gonna have a little bit of fun.
Well, it's still down by the docks. You're heading in the right direction.
Maybe that friend could have anything for me. Maybe even a boat.
That friend does definitely not have a boat for me.
Let's go to the docks.
Okay. As you do, you guys trailing behind Rhatzeal as he squeezes his way all the way down to the harbor. Rhatzeal, ahead of you see a somewhat familiar face that you came to know as Amvir the Sunken, a tiefling man, short, only 5'3", deeply red in color. He's the one who gave you your chain whip way back in Baldur's Gate. And he says, "Greetings, friend. I was just I was actually just about to shove off as our master was sending me north to deliver this thing to you. I was gonna head up to Luskan and then head inland, but how fortuitous you find yourself here today. How did you manage that?"
I got a little excited. I was gonna get to go on a boat, and I guess we just happened to cross paths before we were supposed to.
Well, what else? Okay, never mind. But and he's like, okay, well, this actually saves me the trouble of heading all the way north to hand you this, and he hands you a bag, and it's a bag of holding.
Oh, thank Christ.
Yeah. So, oops. Yes. So, here's your shit on bag of holding.
Do you think we can get back to the castle and get 500,000 copper?
You're gonna be hard pressed to do that. Anyways, he's like, okay. He's wanted me to hand, our friend wanted me to hand you this. He says that it's time to start gathering more resources, and this will give you a place. Anytime you come across something useful for our future campaign, you can stuff it in here, so it would be easier to transport back out to sea.
What is your? Why are you here? Why you serve the master?
And he says, same reason as many, I suppose. He saved my life.
From what?
And he says, you see these scars on my face, and you see it. Okay, I'm gonna re-describe him for you. I don't have a
Okay.
picture for this one, but all right. So, tiefling man, short and stature, standing only 5'3", with skin that is deeply red in color. Most notably, he has only one straight horn, about 4 inches in length, coming out above his left temple, while only a jagged stump sits above his right temple, where the second horn should be mirrored. A large pair of scars extend from the center of his forehead down to just under his right ear. And he says, it was on the day that my horn broke and I got these scars that I met our friend, he says. He says, you see, I was on a ship that was attacked by a kraken. And I was thrown from it. Wood splintered, cut my face to shreds, destroyed my right horn. He says, well, kind of like, he's like, moves his head up to the stump and he's like touching it a little bit, like feeling at it. And he says, my entire crew was lost out on the Sea of Swords. I was the only one who survived. I would have been lost too if it wasn't for our friend who pulled me from the sea, took pity on me, and he pulled me from the sea. And although he did not bestow onto me the power he bestowed onto you, the least I can do is make some deliveries for him and answer his call whenever he needs me to do so.
He didn't give you any powers?
Uh, he offered them to me, but I declined. Um, he's I don't have the mind for that. Sailing's all I've known. I prefer to continue doing so. Um, as a result, he was happy to just make me one of his vassals. I can still speak to him in the same way you can need whenever the need arises, and I'm happy to help him whenever he needs. But it appears that you serve his purposes in that department just fine.
Huh. I guess I always assumed that everybody got what I got.
He says, "Not at all. It seems he holds you in very high regard."
Does it worry you, or our campaign?
Says, I understand I understand what he represents, and based on what he did to his brother to save my life, I believe that it is righteous.
I hope that one day I can believe it's righteous too. I'm still unconvinced.
He says, "Well, perhaps one day, brother." And he kind of gives you a pat on the shoulder, and he says, "I should head out now. Perhaps we'll meet again someday."
I hope so. I hope it continues to be under good fortune.
And he says, "Yes, I understand you're taking the sea now yourself. I'm sure you'll have good fortune along the way, along your travels as well." And he nods his head and bows out.
As he leaves, I just shout, "Wind at your back, brother."
"And to yours," he says, and I envision this as a common sailor's blessing, telling someone telling a performer who's about to go on stage to break a leg. That's just one of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he smiles and heads towards a galleon that's located further down the harbor. But you guys, someone someone wearing the Harper symbol on a bracelet comes up and says, uh, uh, Lady Haventree must have sent you guys down here. I'll show you guys what we have prepared for you." And as you guys start moving down across the docks, there are grand ships here, huge mercantile ships that can transport things across the seas. Some transport vessels that um, just move people around. Some smaller sailing ships, some smaller mercantile bits. But you guys keep on moving down until you reach what is the exact same thing that that Rhatzeal had in mind when he heard that you're navigating the sea of moving ice. A long ship, a couple 100 feet in length. You see 20 holes for oars on each side boat, positioned along the top half. It's very, very low to the water. Very low drag, and it's think of old Viking ships. It's not like these huge things where it's coming where the hull comes 20 feet out of the water, and it's just a huge ship that's way above the water line. It's very low to the ground. It has one sail positioned in the middle of the ship, and there's a crew of approximately 40 who are moving around, swapping the decks and getting everything ready to go and what have you.
Dibs on being the drummer.
Okay, let's see here.
Are we on the ship now?
Yes. As you step aboard, you see painted on across the back of the ship, is the name of the ship, Frost Skimmer.
Oh, that's better than the name I was going to give it.
Hey, what'd you have in mind? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, something great, something strong like Titanic.
Pretty good. Okay. But yes, you see a man who clearly he's got the hat. He seems like he's the captain. He introduces himself. He says, "I am Lurishta. I am Lurishta Halfface. Um, in, you notice that like the right half of his face is just covered. Um, he has it covered with a leather hood. Um, and he says, "Where we're going, you guys are gonna need cold weather gear." And he pulls up 5 packs and says, "These have coats that you're gonna need as we head up north. You don't need to put them on now, but make sure they fit right because if they don't, you're gonna have a real bad time in a couple days once we get up past the spine of the world."
I show my boots.
What kind of boots do you have
Mine
again?
fits perfectly.
Boots of
Boots of Winterland.
Okay. And they're like,
yeah.
he actually regards him and says, "That's incredibly valuable. It seems like you're all set then."
Thanks.
Says, "Well, you have a pack regardless. If you want to try the coat on, that's your business. Otherwise, go about your business."
I try mine on.
It fits. It's warm.
Perfect.
It's real warm.
A large polar bear is on the shoulder.
No, that crossover isn't happening yet.
Man.
Yeah. God.
Sorry,
No, that's
we're
fine.
limited to
No, it's
to one crossover per episode, and we've already spent that on May Valvictus.
Which funny that Jake's friend was May too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I actually thought about that. I'm like,
It's fine.
to be fair, he came up with that name before you came up with May Valvictus, so
Well, I didn't know it existed.
suppose
I
you wouldn't.
Anyway,
mean-
let's sail north.
What's that?
Let's sail north.
I
And
wanted to
set
go south.
and
Can
set sail.
can we go west?
You may not go east. Yeah.
Let's sail.
So yeah, you guys like pack it in. You start heading north. It's a couple days journey. You start seeing the the temperature drops radically as you move north. You pass the coastal city of Leland, Leland. Past
Leland.
Neverwinter, you consider north, and you guys stop in Luskan for a night, just to gather final supplies before heading off into the deep wilderness of the north. Do you guys want to do anything while you're in Luskan?
John's Club.
Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. The Arcane Brotherhood's here. They have magic shit.
Yeah, they
That's
have
their own book.
John's Jr. It's a regional brand.
All right, what table do I want you guys to roll on here?
For all your children's magical needs. They got some wicked items, but they're just child sized. Like, they got like Holy Avengers and
No,
stuff.
no.
They're the size for a child.
No, what I'm thinking is you have and you see this? These are spelling blocks, but they're not your average spelling blocks. You see, you roll them, and then just a giant fireball comes out.
Okay,
You see?
here's the deal. I want you each to roll 1d100, and we're gonna do this a couple times, but
Oh my god. I wish that mattered as much as
Man,
I
if
thought
if
it did.
only it was a loot table, not
Seriously.
a Oh, and don't forget to roll for Misha.
no.
No, we're not rolling.
We're doing this. I'm gonna do this a couple times. I'm having you roll on a couple different tables, of varying rarity. So okay. On sale is a drift globe. just start writing all this down. I'm not gonna tell you the prices yet because I don't
Hold
know
on.
yet.
Stand by.
Okay, you got that drip globe.
Go
Yep.
for it.
Let's see here, 65. A potion of climbing. Potion of healing. Actually, 2 potions of healing. 71. A spell scroll of something of first level. What do I want that spell to be? I'm just gonna grab this. I'm gonna grab a random first level spell scroll off the wizard list. Well,
It's a spell scroll of wish.
nay. No 9th level spell scrolls. Wizard list. Well, say it's Greece. All right, so that's our first table. Next, I need you guys to roll 1d100 again.
Hey, that's some pretty good rolls, you and me. I'd say 51's a nice number.
Okay. Shoot. Did everyone go again? I should have separated this by something.
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 39. Potion of speed. 82. Potion of longevity. 51. Spell scroll 7th level. Oh shit. I'll get to that in a second. 34.
Wait, was that 51? Because there's 2 of those.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's actually 2 potions of speed and 2 7th level spell scrolls. And those 7th level spell scrolls are going to be
Wasted money.
They're going to be. Wait a minute. There's a mistake here. This says Mage Hand. It's like a spell, but the cantrip.
it's going to be plane shift and fuck.
That's a weird scroll.
Delayed blast fireball.
And 39.
39 is also the potion of speed. So there's 2 potions of speed.
I think we're short an item then.
No,
No,
we
it's
had
5.
2 level 7s, so.
Oh,
2
okay,
spell
my bad,
scrolls.
my bad.
Stop rolling so close to each other, damn. Okay. Next. Roll 1d100 again. We'll roll it on table G.
Tell me something good.
Is everyone done?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, top
My
89.
dogs are very talkative this morning.
Sword of Wounding.
Sword of Wounding, huh?
Interesting.
41.
Do you mean rapier of wounding?
Do you mean Katana of
Elven
Wounding?
Chain.
Ooh!
24. Boots of Speed. 73.
Of Sonic.
Robe of Eyes.
Holy shit, fuck the potions, yo.
8's boring. Reroll that.
I want to know what 8 was.
+2 weapon.
Oh, I'm reloading mine.
Oh, that's boring.
It's
What?
boring.
Whoa! What
It's
kind of
boring.
+2
It's
weapon?
Yeah, what plus
What?
2 weapon are we talking?
Well, he'd have to make an interesting +2 weapon, and that would take a lot of time.
Trident,
Brazier
plus
of
2.
Commanding Fire Elementals.
Can Lucina wear one shoe of speed and one shoe of spider
No.
climbing and then be awesome?
But it actually
You can be-
specifically says
no,
you can't do that.
No. No.
Brazier of commanding fire elemental. Is that what you said?
Correct.
Elementals or elements?
Well,
Elementals.
what if I wear the
Oh, wow.
the speed shoes on my hands? You know.
Yeah, so what do the boots of speed do? I'm interested in that.
Okay.
They make it so that I am no longer the fastest in the party.
I don't know if that's true, actually. Hang on.
If it increases their movement speed by 1 or by
While
5,
you wear these
then
boots,
no.
you gain a bonus action and click the boots' heels together. If you do, the boots double your walking speed, and any creature that makes an attack against you has disadvantage on attack rolls. If you click your heels together again, you end the effect. When the boots property has been used for a total of 10 minutes, the magic ceases to function until you finish a long rest.
So it doubles my speed and it gives disadvantage on attack rolls against me?
Correct.
Oh, good Christ.
Interesting.
I think I know what you're buying first and foremost.
Wait, important question. What all items that I have require attunement? I have Haziran, which I know requires attunement,
Yes.
but the shield, I don't think we ever
No,
clarified that, or I think it
that one
doesn't.
I believe we said it doesn't.
I believe it does not.
So what about the +1 sword I have?
No. You're not even using that right now, are you?
Well, I'm using it in place of
No, it
my
does not. That
my
does-
old silver
no.
sword.
Plus,
Okay.
whatever equipment doesn't require attunement.
Okay, cool. So I've only got one item attuned. How much do the well, let's hear the other items first.
Reading time.
It's just tell me what you want to hear about. Okay, I'm just gonna
Robe of eyes.
hang on. I want to copy spell descriptions as I do this.
Do you want me to read some of them while you do stuff?
I'm doing that. Robe of eyes, you said, yeah. Oh Christ! I broke it up weird.
Oh.
The ability to see into the ethereal plane. Holy cow.
Yeah. That's a I see dead people moment.
And you have advantage on all perception checks that rely on sight. Wow. Can see all invisible creatures and objects.
This is very.
Damn.
This is a
This
very
is some
double-edged
serious
sword,
stuff,
though.
guys. Like,
Damn.
This is good, but it's also very double-edged because you can't avert your eyes while wearing it, and you can get blinded very easily, which is also bad for a drow.
What's the brazier of commanding fire elementals?
one second. If I can spell it, which I can't. There we go. It's that.
Oh,
Interesting.
hey Giovanni, you want to have fire Pokemon?
No, don't give me fire Pokemon.
Wait, hold on. What's this? Let's see.
You
He's
you
interested
summon a
now.
Charmander.
That's all I need to say.
Oh shit.
I hope you don't have enough money to buy the Elven Chain and the brazier, and you have to make a decision between one or the other.
What is
I don't
the
see. I don't think that Elven Chain will really work for me because I don't know if it would allow for my full Dex modifier or not. Because I think it's medium armor.
I believe that is medium armor,
Dumb.
and it doesn't.
I
And
thought Elven Chain was medium armor you could wear as light.
I thought that too, but I don't remember.
Well, I could check.
Let's find out.
Yeah,
I don't have my DMG with me, so.
I'm a look. Oh, I just
I
scrolled.
mean, I
down.
guess I could just look in that. Yeah.
You gain a +1 bonus to AC while wearing this armor. You are considered proficient with this armor, even if you lack proficiency with medium armor. It is still medium armor, but even
Yeah.
if you don't have proficiency in it, you have it anyways. So
Anyone can wear it.
right.
But I don't remember if what that does to Dex.
It does.
It's-
It's classified as medium. It's looking at its chain. You said I'm guessing that it's a chain shirt. That's 13 plus Dex, max of 2, plus the 1. So you'd
Right,
be at
so-
I think 16,
Yeah.
which
Bullshit.
It's essentially 13 plus 3. So
Fucking
Yeah.
worthless to me.
But someone that can't wear medium armor could wear that. So if you only have like light armor proficiency, that still might be good.
yeah, but our
Or
light armor
Misha, who
proficiencies are
doesn't
great.
have any armor proficiency.
Eh?
it's not
Eh?
fitted for guard Drake.
But doesn't
Eh?
magic armor fit the size of whoever puts it on?
You guys are killing me.
He
No,
doesn't have to be proficient.
it's a chain. Oops, shit. Didn't do that. It's a chain shirt. You
Yeah,
have
no, guys. Misha has to show off his beach bod that he worked on so hard to get. It's
Those
summer now.
abs didn't get themselves.
God damn, I was so excited for that elven chain, and it's completely worthless. Damn.
Wow,
What about? Oh,
I like it.
Do you want it?
I kind of want to know how much it is. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
then I,
Also, what about that sword of wounding? What does
I
that
was
do?
about to ask for that, you dick.
I mean, I'm not saying I want it. I just want to know what it does. I've already got enough like magical swords.
Yeah, I have. I have
5,000 gold pieces for the elven chain.
5,000 gold.
oh,
And
I
it's
mean, to be
functionally
fair, you
the
just
same-
got like 4,600 gold from all that plat. So
It's just functionally the same as a chain shirt.
Plus
It's
one
+1
armor class.
chain shirt.
plus
essentially.
1.
Okay.
And you don't
Plus-
have to be proficient in medium armor to wear it.
yeah, it's +1, and it can go up to a +2
Oh,
from Dex.
I have the leather armor from the dragon. Is that just +1, or does it have something else on?
It's gonna have a minor effect. I don't know what it is yet.
Okay.
Same with my sword.
And the bow.
What does the sword of winding do?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sword of wounding. Sorry.
Fine.
So I get for rolling 15 magic items at the same time. Prevents healing. Da da da.
Want.
It's it's
Damn.
damage over time, which is pretty good.
I want.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, someone should pick that up for sure.
That's fine.
All right.
it.
It also costs 5,000 gold pieces.
What type
We
of
can
would do
sword?
that.
stylize it. It can be a katana if you want it to be.
I was about to say it says any sword there. I'm just gonna assume.
All right, it's a katana.
Yay.
When you attune to it, it changes from just a simple blade into a katana.
No,
Morphs to fit you.
it's literally just a stick of wrought iron, but the second you do it,
Damn, I just realized how good that would have been with multi-attack. Oh well.
Oh shit, that's right.
yeah. But you have magical weapons. I just got my second one. So
But Lucina,
Is-
you could summon a fire elemental.
yeah, but I can also summon
Quick
fire.
question: How is Lucina gonna hit this while she's on the ceiling?
I mean,
She's not Lucina anymore.
might-
I fucked it up. She's Evelyn now.
I know.
She is Evelyn. I'm sorry.
I was like-
Evelyn.
Jesus, you guys realize it took you more than 65 hours to learn every member of your party's name, right?
She wouldn't let us know anything.
no one asked.
Bullshit.
I gave you a golden opportunity to crack that open back in Boulder's Gate. Everyone just
You
ignored
did.
it. The first time
"You look
Amber
like
showed
someone."
up.
No. Okay, that's nothing then.
How much is the brazier?
Okay, that shit. What rarity is that? Let's find out. It's
Oh
rare.
yeah, shit. I was
it's
supposed to be asking about these boots. too.
4,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
The boots
What
of
about-
speed.
Yeah.
5,000 gold pieces. All this is rare,
Interesting.
and you guys have a
What's
lot of
the-
money now, so I'm going high
What's
end on
the
the rare.
drift globe do?
Drift globe is actually neat.
Pretty sure it just casts like the light spell or daylight or something.
Which would be useful for some people who can't see in the dark.
My sword does that.
Okay, it's true. You guys probably don't need the drift globe, but it's a neat item. Is this 2 words? How do you spell drift globe? What the fuck?
Just one word.
Yeah, I had no idea what that was.
Drift.
There you go.
Why is? Oh, because I'm looking the wrong thing.
Oh, drift globe. I heard drift clone.
I'm
I
not
was
in
like,
the. No, I am in the compendium. What the fuck's happening here?
I put it in chat for you.
I see.
I don't. Okay, whatever. You did it. That is uncommon, so that's actually significantly cheaper. Yeah, that's only 500 gold pieces. Actually, 300. We'll make it 300.
I want to buy the brazier and the drift globe.
Okay.
But I want to barter for it.
Here we go. All right. All right. Yeah, barter away. We'll roleplay it.
All right. Hello, good sir.
Hi.
I have these fine pelts, and I pull out the 6 ermine pelts and the 3 fox pelts. How much do you think these are worth?
I don't remember these at all. What are we talking about right now?
This is from the hunting cabin.
lodge. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh shit. Those actually had value. Now I have to go back to the other goddamn book for it.
Oh no!
That was in chapter 7. Let's see here. Treasure. Motherfucker. Is Giovanni still carrying that fucking tapestry around?
Yes.
You
Okay.
can put it in the bag of holding now.
No, we can't. That'll blow your shit up.
Yeah, that's
put it in
bad. You
bag
don't
of
want to
holding
do
now.
that. You don't want to do that and be anywhere close to it.
Oh wait, that was outside, wasn't it? It was in.
That could be our atom bomb, though, if we ever need to defeat an enemy. Just saying.
Oh
And
shit.
send us all to the astral plane.
All right, so you have all the pelts.
Yes.
So
I have
6 ermine pelts.
and
and-
3 fox.
He looks at him and he goes, you know, we don't really handle that stuff here, but I know this stuff's valuable. I'll give you 50 gold pieces for each of those pelts, and for each of the ermine pelts, and then another 15 for each of the fox pelts.
Fair to me. I would like to purchase this fine brazier you have and this neat little globe.
So it takes off 345 off the cost of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're essentially getting the drift globe for free, and then knocking 45 off the drift globe, or off the brazier. Yeah. Does
Yeah.
that sound okay? So do that. Mark it.
It was 4,000 for the brazier, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Anyone else?
No, I think I'm good.
Just wish I would have sniped that sort of wounding now. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
So, Lucina.
Who?
That was a lot.
I'm gonna
Okay,
be doing that for a while
If
now.
you're still on the run, why do you want us to call Bus by your real name now?
Oh
That
no,
was
no,
my
no.
thought.
It's just a
that was
meme.
just
I think she's
that's
very
just a
happy you're
meme.
actually calling her Lucina, but
Yes, no, actually, very happy. It's just a matter of I can't give Doc all the flack. But okay, yes.
I mean, I do happen to have a +1 longsword with some unknown great mystical power. You know, I mean,
Mm,
just saying. If you want to perhaps barter, I would be open to trade.
I mean, you had your chance to barter when you decided to down those potions when I was unconscious.
Just want to draw back to the dragon we fought and how
I killed it.
um, and how I frightened it and dealt the most damage.
I mean, I didn't see that.
And so Giovanni and I were so gracious to be on the front lines, just absorbing those bites and claws and tail attacks for you. And I'm just saying, on those same front lines in future battles, that longsword would prove pretty handy, or that sword of wounding.
I seem to recall you looking like you hadn't been touched.
I mean, it's not my fault he couldn't look at me without being frightened.
So how did it bite you then?
Well, it tried. I mean,
it did.
just imagine what I could have done with that sword when it wasn't looking at me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I can imagine what you can do now that it's not looking at you.
I'd like to point out you already have a cool sword.
You do, and I'm not
I
giving
know
up.
that's actually why I thought it sounded so cool, because both of the swords actually have a very almost identical effect. It's like a mini Haziron, is why I thought it sounded so cool.
Right.
Like
So why are you doing this?
Yeah, you're not getting this.
Oh no, it's fine if you don't want to. I was just saying if you were open to it, because it'd be cool to have two swords that do something similar.
Yes,
It's like a
but
theme.
you don't have the dual wielding feat, and it's a
You
great
can't do
sword.
that with great swords, anyways.
Oh, I know. No, I'm aware. I'm aware.
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying I want it.
Right, right. Because I do still have times I can use a shield and a sword if I need to protect somebody, but you bring a good point. I guess I don't need to protect everybody. And I just kind of give them a glance and walk away. Or her,
Yeah,
Evelyn. I mean, I don't know at this point. I don't know what to believe. Could be a guy.
All right. Does anyone else want anything?
I just need to do a little bit of money housekeeping, but it's 10 to 1, so that's down to 200. And you know what? Because how much are those potions of healing? And are they just regular potions of healing, or are they
They're
greater?
straight up regular potions of healing. I think those are common magical items, and they only cost, we'll say they're 80 gold pieces a piece.
I'll take both because
You're gonna need them now. Sorry.
okay.
What's
Something in
that?
my throat.
You okay,
Oh,
Vertus?
nothing. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Your sister pops out of nowhere. You okay, Vertus? You good?
I just don't know how good these boots of speed would be. They sound interesting. I mean, just doubling my speed occasionally sounds pretty cool, but
The fact that they take a bonus action is like completely invalidating for me, at least.
Yeah.
right. I don't have
Same.
many bonus actions, but like the ones I do are kind of important. Like, oh, I don't know, shielding myself from damage, but it could still be worth it. Just, I don't know if it's worth 5,000 gold. It's quite a bit.
It's disadvantage.
But it's
Yeah.
only on opportunity attacks. When he
And when does Vertus run away? It's not like he ran away in the middle of a castle.
Right,
and decided to go
yeah.
fight on his own.
I do specifically remember Vertus hightailing it from a group of guards to a castle.
I was baiting them into a choke point. Thank you very much.
Oh, is that what we call that now?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think I'm good.
I
though.
actually, I misread it. I thought it said all attacks. I'm like, Jesus Christ, these things are stupid powerful. I didn't realize it was
Yeah.
just
No, it's
opportunity
only
attacks.
opportunity.
It's
Otherwise, I think
only
it'd be like a
I'm like, I was
million.
looking, like, why are these only rare? This shit sounds like legendary to me.
yeah. I went from oh my god, I have to buy these to it's okay, but
Give them to Misha.
can Misha wear the boots of speed?
You have to be smart enough
You would
to
need
attune
4.
to shit.
Is there a necklace we can buy to make Misha smarter so then he could wear or she could wear all the
They
items?
can wear.
They, it, whatever its pronoun is.
Says, maybe you can go ask someone at the inside the Arcane Brotherhood. to
Oh,
look into it for
yeah.
you.
Interesting.
Yeah, we should also go to the Arcane Brotherhood because we have 2 spell books that we have no idea what they do.
You do?
Actually, I think you have 2 spell books.
Oh, yes, we. It's the royal we. It's me, and then I count you guys.
I don't want to hold anyone up, so I know that the boots of speed are there. If I decide to buy them, we could always stop by before we leave.
Yep. Oh, and I have a couple swords to sell still.
Wait, did no one get those robe of eyes?
Nope.
No, I
man.
don't have the funds for that. If it's 5,000.
Ah, man. Okay, I might even consider that. That sounds so strong, but I don't think I could wear a robe and armor, right? Like that's how that
You
works.
can wear it like a cape, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's armor.
Yeah, I think it's just
I
a
think it's
wondrous
just
item
clothes.
that's attached to you, I think.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Good to know.
I'll tell you how much it costs if you give me a second.
This just means that the next time we go to John's Club, I'm gonna end up buying freaking everything again.
It is $5,000. But yeah, it's literally you can just like wear it like a cape over your armor if you want.
Interesting.
Richard, just for simplicity's sake, can I just sell the 2 long swords and the short sword I have for just half their like buying price?
I mean, that's like nothing, but sure.
Yeah, no, it's money. I don't want to take time, so. 15,
Well, you don't want to carry swords around with you anymore?
No, I carry them so I can sell them.
What would the offer
How
be?
very
for
Skyrim of you.
how much would you be paying to get rid of this tapestry from us, Richard?
He like looks at it. And he
Step
says,
through it. It's really cool.
Well, we got a shop now.
Shoot, where is it? It's right here. 3 Helms Parlor. Oh my god. I cheated so hard.
This item cannot be removed from the wall.
No, it says it does not work if it's placed on the floor like a carpet.
Oh, good to know.
Well,
He looks at it, he's
We
like,
all of a sudden, everyone just spawns in around you.
I'll give you
Are you
2
trying to
grand.
cheat?
I'll give you 2 grand for it, he says. After inspecting it.
2,000 platinum deal.
It's not how that works. He hands you
I
200
don't know.
platinum back of ones that he was just received from your group. Or,
He hands me 200. Oh, I thought you said 2,000 platinum.
no, 200 platinum.
Well, if the tapestry's not gonna work on the floor, then I don't know like what I'm gonna do with it. The thing weighs 50 pounds.
It does.
That's like more than everything else I carry combined.
Just
Not quite.
theoretically speaking, though, if we were to shove that tapestry in the bag of holding,
I mean,
and the ensuing rift in the
You're not
fabric of
ruining
space time.
my bag of holding.
no, you just can't put a bag of holding in another bag of holding.
No, you can't put it through any portal. If you put it through any type of other extra dimensional space, shit goes wrong.
Yeah, like
Really?
real.
You wouldn't
All
know
I'm saying
this.
is I'm ready for the apocalypse.
Only if you're ready to be swimming
Alright,
in
but
the
you
sea.
realize that a portal is not the same thing as an extra dimensional space, right?
Well, I mean, unless you, I'm pretty sure that's how it's written. Is like if it goes to anything that transports or stuff like that. Sorry, I'm trying to move and I'm making a total noise mess. But I think it's supposed to blow up the bag of holding. I'd have to
Alright,
reread bag of holding. But...
I am literally reading it right now. If the bag of loading is overloaded, pierced, or torn, it ruptures and is destroyed, and its contents are scattered in the astral plane. That's not happening when it goes through a portal. If the bag is turned inside out, all its contents spill forth unharmed, but the bag must be put right before it can be used again. Breathing creatures, you lose your air supply when you close the bag, so you have to hold your breath if you're in there. Placing a bag of holding inside an extra-dimensional space created by a handy haversack, portable hole, or a similar item instantly destroys both items and opens the gate to the astral plane. The gate originates where one item was placed inside the other. Any creature within 10 feet of the gate was sucked through into a random location on the astral plane. But a portal is not an extra-dimensional space unless it leads to one. So
I don't know if I really want this thing anymore. Like, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, if we can't place it on the floor, that's basically how
I
we
do
were
want
using
to
it.
tell you that, like,
It's like
this stuff
it's
is
super
treasure.
metagamey.
It wasn't supposed to be a weapon you used ever.
Well,
That is very true.
You guys,
Well,
a
I
lot of the
mean,
stuff I give you is treasure.
yeah.
It's meant to be used as currency. So
Yes. And speaking of currency, I'm just doing some general housekeeping, upping my arrows and that sort of stuff.
okay,
It's not much.
okay, that's fine.
I can always sell it next time we're at a John's Club or something. Like, I don't have to do it now.
I mean, it's 50 pounds you're carrying around with you.
I mean, I'm still under capacity.
Alright.
Amazingly. I mean, I don't have anything else to do with the gold, so I'm like not in any big rush, I guess. Maybe it'll save our lives, who knows.
Is there a jeweler in town?
Yeah.
I want to go to the jeweler.
You go to the jeweler.
Hello. And I pull out my 10 pristine white dragon teeth. And I say, how much would it cost to get 5 necklaces made with these teeth on them?
He says,
2
well,
teeth
really,
each
it's it takes some skill to drill through the teeth without destroying them. That's not too difficult there. I mean, really, that's the harder part. What kind of chain do you want them on?
Just a basic silver chain would be fine.
He says, okay, 1 gold piece for each of the silver chains. It seems reasonable. I'll say, if you give me a couple days, I can get, I can get the necklaces ready, for just 10 gold pieces a piece. That would give me enough time to make sure I'm drilling through them carefully. If you're really in a rush, I could theoretically do that for you, but it would be 25 gold pieces per necklace.
Well, we are in kind of a hurry, so I will pay the 25 per
Okay.
necklace.
Yeah, I can have these ready for you tomorrow morning to pick up then.
Okay. Then I will hand over the gold and leave the teeth with him.
Okay.
Or I would like to sell the where'd it go? The cinnamon, nutmeg, and black pepper.
Okay. Let's see here.
I'm noticing how many random magic items I have. Like, I forgot that I had that tankard of plenty as well. Like,
Yeah, you stole that.
somebody's really mad somewhere, but that doesn't.
I was
Oh,
feeling
like,
that
that's
dude
like
was
how
an
we got-
asshole, so.
Yeah.
That's how he got all the money for his business, and I just stole that shit. Like, I single-handedly put his.
All right, you
power
have the black pepper, cinnamon, and nutmeg.
Yes.
Those are each worth 130 gold pieces. Just take the money.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So wait, each are 130?
Correct.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
All right.
dude.
Spices, man.
Dude, the spice must flow.
Medieval
Also-
medieval times, man. Everyone, spices were quite the commodity.
Yeah. Oh,
So
what-
39 plat.
what would some antler, 2 antlers from a Parrington get me? I have no idea.
Where'd you get those?
We killed a Parrington.
Oh, so.
I don't know. I'm just looking through what I got.
Someone like looking at like the shopkeeper doesn't even want it, but like someone who's like, oh, I can put this up in my den. I'll give you 5 gold pieces for him.
Sold. They mean nothing to me.
And he goes, ha ha, ha, sucker! These things were worth millions. And he runs out of the room.
I know where you
So-
live.
Speaking of gems, in my notes, I randomly had 8 gemstones worth 500 each written
Yep.
beside the wyvern bridles.
Probably yeah. So
Yeah.
What were those? Do I have those, or does someone else have those?
That
That
was
was
from the chest
yeah,
in
the
the
chest.
giant's room.
Oh, did we sell those yet?
Not yet.
probably
Oh,
not,
can I-
which is probably why you have it written
can I-
there.
Can I sell those then?
Yeah. We can.
Yeah.
I am fine with converting all this treasure to actual, funds now. Just
Actually keeping the gems.
All right, so that's
left a lot
4,000 gold.
I
Yeah.
need to restock on my jerky.
okay. You can do that up here.
How
housekeeping
much?
for the episode.
How much do you want?
All of it.
I
He
would like to buy
opens-
your entire facility.
You go to the butcher and he opens just like a room that is just full of jerky. He says, "All of it?"
We do have a bag of holding that can carry up to 500
Yes.
Shit.
Like
You
500
asked for
pounds
those.
of jerky is a lot of jerky.
I like try and get Kai and say, "Can we keep this in the bag?"
It's basically going to be a bag of jerky
It's gonna be
now.
1 gold per pound,
How many pounds are there?
as much as you can carry.
What are we putting in my bag? Jerky?
Jerky.
Oh, Misha jerky? All right, I'm in.
I'm sure the progenitor has no problem with the extra dimensional space he got so you could bring things back to him being filled with jerky.
I'll take 115 pounds, please.
The butcher looks at you like you're joking. He's like, and then Rhatzeal steps up with his bag of holding. He's like, okay, let's do this, and he does. He starts just shoveling in, putting he pulls out his scale. He puts out a plate on the scale, zeroes the scale, throws a pile of jerky on top. He's like, yeah, it's 15 pounds right there. Shoves it in the bag, grabs another
Or
pile, and
I'll
just
take
goes.
15 just on my person.
Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, and so that's what he does. It takes about 20 minutes for him to weigh out all the jerky, but that's what happens.
So, I also had a +1 chain shirt. How much would that sell for? I don't think we ever gave it a magical effect or anything.
Where did you get a +1 chain shirt from? I don't even remember this.
I don't even remember now. It was a while back. Let me see what my notes are close to it.
I don't remember.
I think it was off those 2 high-ranking cults we killed as soon as we got in the castle, because I had Talus and Verum marked down right beside the +1 chainmail.
Oh, you probably got it from. Well, I don't know. Okay, well, let's see. Your +1 armor is, I think it's rare, so I will give you 600 gold pieces for it.
600?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll mark
That's
that off.
3 times as much as a tapestry. Holy shit! I'm in the wrong
600 gold,
business.
not platinum.
I don't even remember what he offered me. I don't.
I give you 2,000. 2,000 gold.
So it's actually 3 times less than the tapestry.
Yeah.
All right. And then we still also, just noting for everybody, we still had the bracers of defense, and we also had 21 blue sapphires worth 300 each, which I think
Nope,
we
those
gave
are
to Misha.
Misha's.
The bracers definitely could fit on Misha. Those are they're bracers. They're not like.
So did we give the bracers to Misha too? I don't know.
Misha just has an AC of 30 by the
Richard
end of
said
this.
we
I
couldn't.
thought we did give the bracers to me.
Well, there
We
is
may
the
have,
Arcane
yeah.
Brotherhood up here. They might be able to modify it so you can put the bracers on a guard drake if you really wanted to. But you'd have to go talk to them about it.
Yeah, we should go to
To
the
the
Arcane
Brotherhood.
To the Brotherhood.
Okay.
Paladin.
So yeah, you guys head up towards like their tower. Okay, I actually want to establish some history here because I have it.
Ooh.
Let's see here. Why is there not more information? Where? Son of a bitch. Okay. As you guys approach like the campus where the Arcane Brotherhood hangs out, you're going towards Hoth's Tower. You notice like it's like there are several towers coming up from this, and like the west, it looks like the west arm of the tower has been toppled, and like that seems to be something that happened a while ago. Like it's just like, oh, at one point this part of the tower was destroyed. Um, but yeah, that's what it is as you guys approach. What are you guys doing there?
Well, I have one thing to do there, but I think first we're looking to see how we can guard Drakeify some magical items.
Excuse me, sirs.
It's as you kind of step in, like there's like a mage kind of like the front desk goes, yes, how can I help you?
I have this Drake, and I have these bracers, and I want to put them on the Drake. Can you help me?
He looks at him, he looks at the bracers, he looks down at Misha, and he goes, why in the world would you want to do such a thing?
Misha, show him your trick.
What's Misha's trick?
And then Misha like sits and does a shake or something like that. I don't know.
No, Misha's trick blinks out of sync.
And he looks at it, he's okay. Yeah, I guess that's something that you could do. You might want to go speak to one of our ooh, one of our our wizards that deal with adding magical effects to items. Um, they're up on the third floor. You can go speak to them.
I run to the third floor.
Oh, okay. He says as you run off. Can I help the rest of you with anything?
Yeah, I have these two spell books here, and I figure it'd be better to ask a professional wizard as opposed to try and discern them myself.
He goes,
Kind of pulls up two spell books.
Who did you get these spell books from?
One was under the bed, I believe, and another was in a
Whose
chest.
bed? I'm sorry.
The bed at the bed that had something underneath it.
Did you steal this? He says.
Oh no! This was at an abandoned castle.
They were
In the
repossessed
swamp.
lawfully. Somewhat.
Can we show them our little rights?
Yeah, here. Let me just pulls out the writ. Sword Coast PD. We're investigating a cult.
He goes, okay. Strange. So, did you take this book from one of these cultists?
That is correct.
He looks at it. He's like, this is in the style of some. I've seen. The only place I've seen spellbooks like this is with the Red Wizards. You're not in league with a Red Wizard of Thay, are you?
No, we
Look,
killed
that's on a need-to-know basis. All we need to know is what these books say.
I mean, they're full of spells. Are you such a mage that can read such spells?
He doesn't know that.
Did I just lose Evelyn? What happened? Jake, you still there, buddy?
Oh, what? I didn't hear if you said anything.
Oh, so I cut out then. What was your question? What was I answering?
He asked you if you could read those spells in the book. If you could use the spells from the wizard spell book, Jake.
Oh, if I could. I didn't hear what spells though. I can use wizard spells. Yes.
He looks at it. He's like, being able to do a few tricks is one thing, but like this is high level stuff. To understand this, you just need to study magic for many years. I mean, if you'd like to enroll, you can apply within here, but the best way to interpret this spell book would just to be a better wizard.
Now, if we were to put a level of difficulty on those spells, with 9 being the maximum and 0 being anyone with some magical ability can use them, what level would we say?
Whoever, I mean, the one you found under the bed, he picks up. He looks at it. He says, I'm sure, someone could. I think given enough time and effort, you could probably figure this one out. He says, but as he looks towards Wrath Modar's spell book, he's like, there's some dark shit in here, man. Quite frankly, we should lock this away somewhere. I don't know if anyone
worry.
should be touching the spells that are in here. Matter of fact, he kind of closes it and he's like, I don't know if I want to touch this one anymore, actually. And he kind of pushes it back towards you, and he pulls out he picks up his staff and starts pushing it across the table back to you.
All right, evidence is evidence. Just kind of pick it up and put it away. And trust me, that's not the worst thing I've seen. I have this entire tome filled with nothing but horrible, dreadful dragon poetry.
You're still holding on to that, huh?
Of course I am.
Okay.
Hey, Virtus, can you hold this tapestry up really quickly? Just really quickly, just hold it up.
Sure. I'll
I
hold
look
it
at the
up.
tapestry. What's it look like, Richard?
Oh, here, let me grab that book again.
It's a deer tapestry, right? It shows a hunting
I
scene.
believe so, yeah, something like that.
I go to start pushing my sword through it. What happens?
Your sword starts going through it. Not in the sense
Not
of
tearing through it, but
not
a portal.
portal wise.
I take it from Virtus, flip it around so it's showing you can see the picture on my back. I say, Virtus, put your sword through this.
So just without hesitation, I just stabbed the tapestry.
Okay.
What happens?
The sword goes into the portal, the tapestry. It starts disappearing.
Great. So I want to make this into a cloak.
And he looks at it and he says, it's a big tapestry.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm not so sure it could be, I think you'd have to trim it down quite a bit for it to be useful as a cloak.
Would it retain its magical properties if you were to trim it?
He says, generally speaking, no.
Yeah, I figured. This shit's worthless. I'm leaving.
Okay. So Tali's is sprinting up to the 3rd floor. Giovanni's like, okay, I'm done. I'm out. See ya. Would we like to split the party a 3rd time?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, I didn't split. I stayed with the wizard dude.
I didn't say you split. What else? What else? That's all I wanted to do. I'm good. All right. Meanwhile, on the 3rd floor, you burst out into a landing. And you're you kind of slam open the door into one of the laboratories on the 3rd floor, and just a bunch of people just turn towards you and yes, can we help you?
Hello.
Hi. Do you need something in the artificer lab here? Should you even be here?
I was wondering if you could make these bracers dragon drake accessible, wearable, accessoryable.
Let me see those. And he starts examining them.
I have Misha sit for him and give Misha some turkey.
Okay. Let's see here. Da da da. I just want to. Let me find it. Says it should be doable. We're gonna need time to modify it though, and it's not gonna be cheap.
How much?
Let's see here. He says I'd need at least a couple weeks and 5,000 gold pieces to
Weeks?
weeks.
Okay, never mind. And I take the bracers and I run back downstairs.
Okay. You do that. Giovanni's gone when you return.
I think he went through the portal again.
I'm about to hope that the portal leads me to a hunting animal high up in the sky so I can freaking plummet to my death. Like, holy cow.
I am just sad now. Let's go.
Well, like I said, I got nothing else to do.
Okay.
Didn't we have to ask these people about a certain person by the name of Makoth the Crimson that is supposed to report in to these people?
Do you say this aloud?
Yes, to my group, but I'm sure I could be overheard.
Yeah.
Those are just as. Do you know Pekoth? She's been gone for years.
We've actually been. It's a she, right?
She.
We've actually been sent to find her.
Well, we'd certainly be grateful if you did. She went up into the Sea of Moving Ice years ago and was reporting back, and one day just stopped. We've tried scrying for her. Nothing. Wherever she is, she's either gone or she's being shielded from the scrying somehow.
Did she work on the 3rd floor?
No.
Is there any other helpful information you think that may assist us in locating her?
Trying not to get eaten by Old White Death. That's probably what happened to Makoth. Certainly what happened to our western tower.
Oh, so the dragon attacked your western tower?
Yeah, stole a bunch of shit too.
Oh, like what? Just curious what he may be hoarding.
Books, tomes, spell scrolls, what have you.
So nothing I care about. Okay, well, thank you for your help.
He kind of scoffs at you when you say nothing that you care about. I suppose you wouldn't, but knowledge is power. If you happen to find her, we'd like those back too, and her, obviously.
I mean, I believe power is power, but sure. The dragon never comes back. Let's see how well that knowledge serves you again. Bye.
Okay. You guys
That's a good
take
chat
off.
with a dragon.
So you guys can go like sleep on the ship for the night. Like it's like there's no like below deck like sleeping area. Like it's literally you like toss out a sleeping bag on the deck, or you guys could like stay in a tavern here for the night.
Are there any like trees or parks or something?
There's some woods nearby. Not really a park in the middle of town. Like you can go to the outskirts.
Can we stay in the woods? Party?
Sure.
Okay.
I skip happily to the woods.
Okay. So you guys like set out your bedrolls around, like set up a campfire for the night and that kind of deal.
I think so.
Okay.
And this is where Talia reveals her plan was to murder us in the woods.
Just you, liar.
I didn't lie.
It was
I
just
was never asked.
Failing to tell the truth is lying, and you did tell
I
us your
have
name is
documents that
Lucina.
say
We
Her
asked
name
your
is
name
Lucina.
and you said it was Lucina.
Yeah, I
Right.
have documents.
Does that seem like lying to you?
I have documents that prove it.
I'm not talking to Lucina.
I'm not even lying. I have documents to prove it.
The camaraderie of the bow days are gone. Okay. Yeah, you guys sort of pack up, set up a campfire for the night, and it's cold out for sure, but you sleep until morning. Not the most restful night's sleep, but you guys are making your way back towards the longboat. Rhatzeal, you can go pick up your necklaces if you'd like.
I would,
Okay,
and I do.
and you do.
And I
and
leveled
and they're
up.
wonderful.
Can we stop here before we get into anything?
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good time because like we're actually going to get into the meat of chapter 2 of this book if we continue any further. So, yeah, let's call it a day here.
Okay.
I know
I would-
it was a role play heavy session, but
That's not bad. That's
Yeah.
not a bad thing.
I would like to roll for hit points, please.
Same. I'm rolling.
right.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
D10s for everyone, right?
No, I'm a D8.
You have a D8.
I'll keep mine.
And I'm keeping
Jesus
mine.
Christ, you people, look at this. Now watch me roll another one again. Like,
All right, I've rolled. It is not a 1. It is not a 10. So
Well, I got a 9, so I can't do better. Or you can't do better than me, so I'll take it.
I called it. I called it. Come on. Well, I feel like.
would you like
since,
mine?
Whatever Richard rolled isn't a 1. I would
It's a
before you
4.
tell me. Oh wait, what was it?
No, I didn't say anything.
No. What'd you say? It sounded like an
Well,
8. Because
It wasn't an 8.
I was gonna say, before you tell me, do I have the option just to ever take the average 6? It's fine if I don't. Like I get it.
You
but
have to
just
decide that before your roll.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Just
at
take
6.
it. Just take his roll, man.
All right.
The average wouldn't be 6. I guess it would be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 6.
All right. What do you want? You want my roll?
What? Oh yeah. I mean, compared to the 1.
No,
Yeah.
I think he's gonna
Yeah,
keep the
definitely.
1.
4.
Yeah, I'm
it
not
was a
gonna keep
4. It was a 4. It was a 4. It was a 4.
Hey, don't complain. That's a 3 better
All right.
than a 1.
Okay, because I asked like way early in the first session if we could take the average roll, and you said no, which is why I
Yeah.
haven't been doing it.
We did
But-
decide that we weren't going to do average rolls.
Okay, so just to clarify, going forward, I can't do an average roll. So
Yeah,
I know
let's not. I
before roll.
like the randomness of adding.
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
but
And by the by, I have, I believe, as much HP as Philip did at level 5 now.
Yeah, so I forgot when I did that. Technically, you weren't supposed to be able to get the Bloodstone Brew benefit twice, but I'm just rolling with it because I said so. So, fun fact for you: technically, there's a little bit of brokenness there, but
I mean, it's just health.
who needs that?
I mean,
Right?
he has an
Cheer up,
intelligence-
Bertus. Get over it.
Doesn't Phil have an intelligence of like 4? Isn't that
He
like
did.
one swipe of an intellect devour and you're toast?
pretty much.
I
So
don't
what the
even know
hell
if,
is that?
in actual terms, if an intelligence 4 is good enough to like put words together. Like, I don't think you're capable of like sentient language with an intelligence
Well,
of
I
4.
mean,
Not
it's
really.
possible that's what I can't do. But unless I look it up, we won't know.
He's fully in Philip mode now.
I can do that at a drop of
Let's
a hat.
have you be in Evelyn mode, which is the first time we've ever got to do that. So
Yeah. Yeah, that entire boat ride up, she's just been kind of like, okay, someone I know is alive.
yes,
Okay. That person was
a friend of yours is alive, actually.
more or less her sister.
Pretty much, yeah.
So yeah, there's just been the whole like
All right. Is there any other bookkeep we need to do before we shut this shit down for today?
I don't think so.
Okay. With that, I think this is a good place to stop. We'll end the stream here, and we will pick this up next week. Thank you, viewers. I appreciate all of you. Hearts.
I also appreciate you.
Bye.